It's like doing a podcast with Ron Burgundy. Like you guys are literally. Who put a question mark on the teleprompter? I came prepared with questions for you guys. We'll go question for question. Okay. Is there a worse feeling than sitting down on a public toilet seat that's warm?
I think it's kind of nice.
Oh. A hot take. But you don't look at your poop after you poop?
Depends on the poop. Now, if it's something that I'm grunting going through, and I'm thinking, wow.
Look, at the end of the day, kids are dumb. I used to go to toy stores. I had them convinced. Look, you can play with any toy here, just unwrap it. But we can't buy any. They don't let you buy them here. But you can't laugh at my man's small dick and not laugh at your poop.
Sometimes the joke gets sliced with him.
Which joke is he laughing at? I did my act 3 times.
Really?
Oh, I didn't have it.
And were they laugh?
No!
Hey, do women like men with beards? Pros and cons of having beards?
I think these are talking points. So what you're supposed to do is ask it. It says general talking points.
Do not let him come into our bus and tell us how to run our shit. His laugh is taking over.
The other thing I think you guys and probably deal with more than people think, do people, because you're bigger and you're athletes, do people bow up like they think I could take this motherfucker?
I think in college more than anything else. I don't know if you ever had that.
Did it happen in college more?
Yeah, I have a few guys come up and kind of like bow their chest out and stuff like that.
And you're like...
It just depended on what year of college I was in.
Yeah.
Early in the year, things probably end up in something.
Yeah.
Towards the end, I had a little more to play for, so I was like,
Yeah,
we rolling, Alex?
get this peasant out of my face.
Yet. We're rolling? We're rolling. Good deal.
Hell yeah.
I feel like this is like an obituary for a dog, dude. Like we're like in loving memory of.
When I sat down, I was like, my first thought, I knew it was wrong, but is she dead?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is my dog, Akira. It's not my dog. It's my wife's dog. I inherited her when I started. It was a big win for me.
Did
dogs all time.
Did the person who paint that poke the dog in the eye before?
No, she knows how to wink.
Actually,
like you do the paw, you do sit, you do lay down. She can fucking wink.
She spends half of her day with that eye closed now.
Come on.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
No, she lost it to cancer.
Oh.
I'm sorry. It's a tough way to start this podcast. According to the timer, it's 3 seconds in. That was hard.
Said
no. The old C word early in this thing. Yeah, the C word made a quick showing on Bussin with the boys.
Wow.
That is tough.
Brought to you by Chevy and Barstool.
Yeah, brought to you. Dogs with Cancer and Bussin with the Boys is brought to you by Chevrolet and Barstool Sports.
That would be crazy.
Hey, we got him, though.
If a sponsor was like, we just want to sponsor dogs with cancer.
Yes, that's all we want to do. Oh, do you want to find a cure? No, we just want them to know we have their back.
By the way, when I pulled up here today.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I said to Jacob, my son who's here, I said, and we're Jewish. I'm like, hey, this is where they kill the Jews, by the way. Back here. I'm like, this is not. This is the car running.
Hey, I'm Jewish just so I can say that joke.
Two non-Jewish guys over here going, oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's good. Ooh, just got a reference with Adolf Hitler a little bit. That is tough.
Did you take a swastika down before you came?
Make sure you get. Okay, we covered them. Good. Thank God we covered those stickers. Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Just awkwardly laughing.
It is. It does have that little gassy vibe when you kind of go near the shed, doesn't it?
When you pull up in the shed and all you hear is a generator, you're like, this is not going to be
really
good. Yeah, no.
Is that like an antenna that pops up now or something? Or
nah.
You see the busted couch by the chair?
Yeah, there's some busted couches. There's an
bunch
old
of German
mattress.
guys playing cards.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up. Like, are we in the right place or something? Is this okay? I am gonna get canceled, dude. You've already brought the worst out in me.
Dude's got the metal barrel and the fire's going, and they're just kind of singing around the fire.
Yeah, sitting around there and drinking together.
Yeah, we just want you to take a quick shower.
Yeah.
Damn it.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, man. First of all, I love your pod.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That means a lot.
Are you the only active players?
Love that alley-oop. You want to slam it home?
Well, now that you've brought it up.
Yeah.
When we first started this whole thing, we were the only active. I think football. I might go as far to say as like the.
I think JJ
Big
Redick.
Four. The Big Four sports.
Yeah.
We were the only non-team.
Yeah, like
podcast.
on our own.
Like we did it independently on our own.
Active player.
And now I think there's like
there's a few.
Half a dozen guys. I feel like
the Courtney twins have one.
Yep. Big trust levels.
Trust levels
with Cameron Jordan and Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple guys. Lane Johnson does his. It's like an Instagram thing.
Outside the line.
Outside the lane.
Outside the lane.
Outside the lane. But there's a handful of guys that really come on, and this is one thing that is definitely like a taboo thing, especially for offensive linemen. That's what I play. I play offensive line. In case you know nothing about me.
You're not playing cornerback?
I wish I could. These feet. Let me tell you about my injury. Before then, I probably could have played. They often, as offensive linemen, when you get to college, they're like, hey, you're seen, seen not heard.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole thing. You're kind of put in this box, and then you get to the NFL. It's definitely that. As you're young, as you get older, you can say a little bit more because, now you're a vet. And I think, this is a cool opportunity for us. I don't know if it's like that for linebackers, but definitely for offensive linemen. Like, you're kind of put like, hey, you have to do X, Y, and Z, and you just be an offensive lineman. And it was a cool thing for us to be able to have your own voice. And I know a lot of guys, especially guys coming out into the draft and in college, are definitely listening to our podcast more, and it's cool.
Isn't that nuts?
It's crazy. We have
now the college kids are coming
podcast,
into the league. It's kind of like they talk about busting with the boys.
Yeah,
Damn,
we just
dude,
drafted a
it's
guy
wild.
in the second round who plays offensive line, and he's like a big fan of the podcast.
That's so cool. I came prepared with questions for you guys.
It
too,
sounds
just
like
so
you
know.
are now doing the podcast.
Well,
This is great.
I have an offensive
Hang on,
line question.
before should we do it?
What's that?
Do we need to do our in? We started last week doing the.
Well, no, we'll just wait for the. We'll just wait for the alarm.
Yeah, but the Chevy one's always in the front, the very beginning.
Well, go ahead then, kid.
This episode is brought to you by Chevy and Barstool.
Gotta pay this.
The strongest, most advanced
Pay for that
Silverado
sandwich your
ever.
boys eating.
You love Chevys, don't you?
I love Chevys, man.
Kylo Ren, you love Chevys, don't you?
Yeah.
If you're one of our listeners, you know that the Chevy Silverado, I'm going to say it again, redundant, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. As truck guys, both of us are 100% through and through. The Silverado is strong, advanced, dependable, hardworking, gritty, lunch pail people.
Redundant.
Just like the people who drive them, you.
I love it.
Every season is a great season for a Silverado. But as spring rolls into the summer, just picture yourself in a truck.
Okay.
By the way, that rolled off your tongue. It seems very natural for you to say as spring rolls into summer.
Yeah.
That sounds like something you would definitely say. Yeah.
He looks in the mirror and he goes over those things. He reads these and
when he
he's-
puts on a new shirt,
I'm gonna kill him with that
rolling
comment.
into
I'm gonna kill him with that one.
I'm gonna wink and do my eye this way.
Yeah.
But picture
You
yourself
have the
in a,
most infectious laugh. I love it.
I
It's
know he
gonna be-
does, doesn't he? A big, bold, and commanding design filled with truck capability for all kinds of things.
Like how you
Would you
squinted
like to
your
take
eyes
us through
when
them,
you
or would
said
you
that.
like me to
Well,
tell you
you
about
can
them?
do a whole bunch of things. You can tailgate, you can haul, you can go see Bussin with the boys.
In the back seat.
You can not curse.
You can't. We can't curse. That's so we can't curse.
Can't curse. My God, Chevy,
Damn it,
we are
Josh.
so. But yes, if
Bleep
you,
that out, Jack.
If you want to explore, you're more than welcome to explore. It's an 8-foot bed that never has to be made, in the words of Joe Diffie. Now, we keep talking about redundant. Why? Wheels being redundant. Well, when you're looking for a vehicle, don't you want it to be redundant, right? It starts up every single time. It moves for you. When you press the gas, it goes. When you press the brake, it stops. Those are the redundancies we need, but we just do it with a beautiful, sleek look and tough, hardworking, and dependable Chevrolet. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the camera. Don't worry. I'm staring at you in the eyes. I'll look you in the eyes. Buy a Chevrolet. Buy a Chevrolet. Put the black and white spinning thing behind me. Buy a Chevrolet. Buy a Chevrolet.
The
Anyway,
modern and advanced with a ton of grit, a partner in getting things done. Strong and dependable, just like the people who drive them. Redundancy, you. Go to a Chevy dealership near you. Let them know the boy sent you. Take a video. Post a picture like you guys have been doing.
the boy sent you.
And that is all. Let's get to the episode.
I love it.
Josh, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having
Yeah.
me. I have an offensive line question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, get your questions. Do your
Here's
questions.
what I've always wanted to know.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound
We'll go question for question.
okay. This is gonna sound stupid. Offensive lineman. It seems like that position requires a little more intelligence than maybe some other positions in the field, because you have to hear the calls happen. They change on the line, and you have to work in concert with 4 other dudes, right?
Yeah.
Do you like?
This is a great walk up while he's holding a drink in a bar and ask just.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
let me ask you something.
it feels like it feels.
Let me step away. Yeah, hey, let me step away from my friends real quick.
patron? Yeah.
Hey, slow it on.
No, my 4 or 5 friends that I haven't seen in months can wait.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some pussy. Go ahead and ask me your question. What's your offensive line question? Fuck.
It seems like the intelligence.
But those guys, it seems like you got to figure like. So for me, is it less about just like the individual? Because the Chiefs, they signed 2 all-world dudes, right? But
Yeah.
they've never played together. So is it more important for you to be smart and to have an idea of who you're playing with and to be cohesive like that? Or are you going to be able to drop 2 all-pros in and that's going to be great no matter what?
Well, if they're like pros will be pros. That's what they're going to say in the NFL. Like guys are definitely if you're an all pro big time guy,
Yep.
then you're going to be able to go in and function based on who you're with. Now you have to start learning, okay, what the guy playing next to me, what are his strengths, what are his weaknesses, and how do we work together to make sure that is all like, you play your best together come fall.
Right.
When it comes to the intelligence factor, there's a level. Now I'm not splitting atoms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I need to know a couple of things every play based on where these guys are at. And if they shift or do something, then I know something's different. And it's kind of just being on your toes. You're just taking a test, and you get to study all week. So all 5 of us, like if we're all wrong, we're all right. Like if Ben, who's our center, makes a call, and it's the wrong call, well, we're going to make our calls based off that call. Are you okay?
Yeah, keep going.
All right. We're going to make our calls based off that call.
Right.
And so if he's wrong, well, we're still going to be right because we're going to be blocking in a certain scheme together. I think you can plug and play guys. I think I've had like, half a dozen guards with me in my career. And I know that our line until recently was kind of a revolving door of people.
Yeah.
The first couple of years, it seemed like a whole new line every single year I was there. So there are, you have to be more intelligent to play the position, but the farther you go in, the more intelligent you have to be. Like Ben Jones, our center, he's got to know everything. He's got to know where everyone's at, what everyone's doing.
Is that underrated? Do people not understand how difficult that position is playing center?
Yeah, well, I think people don't understand how difficult football is in general,
Yeah.
especially if you go look at Twitter and all that stuff. It's like, hey, just get in the way of the guy. It's like,
Right.
well, it doesn't work like that.
And it's moving. I will tell you,
Yeah.
the first time I
Well, it
realized
doesn't work like that.
how fast everyone was. I was telling Will, I traveled with cable guy for a while. So
Yeah.
I went down the sidelines, and I remember going down and watching some Nebraska games on the sidelines.
Loved Blue Collar
First of all-
Comedy Tour. Loved
yeah,
it.
Amazing. First of all, it was during the years when Adamakin Sue was literally holding up 2 offensive linemen, one in each arm.
Yeah.
and trying to decide where he
Yeah,
wanted
he
to
was a
move.
monster, dude.
He was a monster.
It was crazy to watch him move human beings like
Yeah.
that. Like pick him up with one hand and be like, yeah, I need to go this way now.
Yeah.
But I just didn't realize this. It's like hockey. You
Mm-hmm.
don't realize how fast those dudes are moving until you go to the game and you sit down by the ice and you're like, oh, these are some big
constant
dudes.
movement with big collisions.
Huge
Yeah.
collision. When they hit each other on the boards, that is massive.
Yeah.
But so I didn't realize how quickly. So when decisions are being made in football and people are like, well, how did you not hit that hole?
Yeah.
Because it happened like that.
Right. Yes, that is a big thing. And the cool thing, like when you went to Nebraska games in college, you've been to a few games. You were at the spring game a week ago, right? You go to college and you can tell who's a dude and who's not. In the NFL, everyone's really fast. Guys have their strengths and weaknesses, and there are guys that stand out. But in college, it's like that
can
guy's a
kinda
dude.
see
You can
who's
see
going to the
Ndamukong
next
Suh and be
level.
like, okay, he's a fucking stud.
Yeah.
I know he's a stud,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you don't got to know the game at all to
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
You get to the NFL, it's kind of hard to figure out who's really the dude. You can figure out who the dudes are.
When those
but in the
freaks-
mix, like who's the upper echelon, who's the lower, like you can't really tell because the skill level is so close.
But it's when the freaks of the freaks.
Yeah.
When somebody sticks out amongst the freak athletes, like when I used to watch Deion Sanders, I'm like, he's faster than all of the freaks.
yeah,
Like that is a next level of
it's like
what's
you brought up
happening.
Kansas City, Tyreek Hill. You watch
Yeah,
him
you
play, and
watch
you're
him
like,
run.
holy shit, dude.
How's he
Or when
faster
DK
than-
Metcalf chases down
Yeah.
Buda Baker.
Oh, did you see him
Yeah.
running the Olympic trials
He
though?
just
Yes.
told me.
Yeah.
He ran a what? 10-3.
10-3-6.
Ninth.
Yeah, I think out of 10.
Yeah, that's still.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm saying like,
Did
there
you see
are-
him interviewing with the guy next to him?
No,
like,
I
the
didn't.
size difference
Oh,
is
dude,
insane.
You watch.
bro.
I saw the video. I think last night, or maybe this morning. Him running. It's like, okay, that's the football player.
Yeah.
And then there's
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
and
That
then
is
there's
true.
Everybody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. I saw another thing too. Not to keep bouncing around, but someone brought up football players and basketball players. Like someone said, basketball players are just as strong as football players.
Just as strong.
Just
no.
as strong. So I don't know who said that, Alex. If you can find that, let me know. But
It's false.
so-
We need a body bag.
It's
whoever it
ridiculous.
is.
It is the dumbest thing. The workouts are completely different. The skill set is completely different. It's just absurd.
There's an argument going on which is harder to win, an NBA championship or an NFL Super Bowl.
It's got to be a Super Bowl
Gotta be.
because you're doing one and dones. So you have one bad game and your season is over.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't happen in basketball. Also in basketball, you can have the one player who's better than everybody else.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he can win a series for you. In football, you can have the one guy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and in football, it's all about like getting to the tournament.
Yeah.
Like if you get it, no matter how you get in, wild card or not, the saying is always like, "Hey, we got in." Like
You
let's
got
see what
in.
we do
Hey,
with
you
it.
got to win 4 games.
Yeah.
now.
In the NBA, you see the bracket there: Western Conference, Eastern Conference. You kind of know who's going to be in like the Final Four, the
There's
championship.
no guessing.
You know what I mean? The 8th
Yeah.
seed's never going to win it.
Yeah.
6th seed, 7th seed, whatever, they're never going to win it. In the NFL, like anybody can win, and you got to count on all different
Yo,
variables.
It's 22
Everybody
guys.
working. Yeah.
I mean, you had 11 guys in the field at one time, and they're constantly calling out personnel as different guys are going in and out off the field. In basketball, it's 5 dudes. So,
Yeah.
and I know that it's a whole different argument to argue 5 guys need to play better. But like if you have 11 guys constantly every play, and dudes are switching out, like 3-4 dudes are switching out every play,
right?
And to have that cohesiveness to be able to go do X, Y, and Z.
And I don't think they don't like, you can only do so. Now listen, this is coming from somebody who's not very smart in the basketball world.
Yeah.
But you can only do so much on the court. You know what I mean? Like,
well, what do you mean?
Running zone, running man, like mixing it up a little bit. But in football, like you can come out with some game plans that kind of, there's more strategy involved.
But I think what you're to bring up, one person changes everything.
One person can win a game.
Yeah, LeBron James. Yeah,
can win a game. But
take over.
Yeah, but you put whoever you consider to be Aaron Donald.
Yeah. We gotta stop you. Go ahead, Taylor. Credit
this
Karma.
is a tough one. My reading's not the best, so please. What are we looking here? Credit Karma podcast, copy, points, 60 seconds. All right, probably shouldn't have read that. Intro ideas, props. Probably shouldn't have read that either. Credit Karma has always been there to help you make better financial decisions, and now they want to help you even more. With Credit Karma Money Spend account, you can be rewarded for good money habits. Didn't take my medicine today, apparently.
That's fine. I love it. This is the best.
Who doesn't want instant gratification? Question mark.
I know I do.
Natural read. Well done.
That was my acting classes I took there. If you're looking for satisfaction, there's no need to wait. With Credit Karma Money, you could win cash reimbursements for debt purchases. Debit purchases. Son of a. But didn't curse. Do I need to read this part too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one. God, it's gonna be hard.
Hey, Josh, you want to hit it? You want Josh to hit it?
No.
If you want me to tap in,
No! It's over the top. Credit Karma Money is a brand new checking account where you can win cash reimbursements for making purchases. When you use Credit Karma Money debit card, you can win daily instant Karma purchases reimbursements on items up to $5,000. That's $5,000. Just pay with your hey, relax. Move the mic away from his laugh. We're not going to hear it.
His laugh is hilarious, bro.
Credit Karma Money has already been giving away more than $3 million.
Why did your voice crack? What are you doing?
It's my fluctuation, dude. It's the Karma up to over 50,000 Credit Karma members and counting.
That's a lot
One
of
of
people.
our FDIC insured spend account for free. There is no minimum balance requirements, no overdraft fees, and free withdrawals. Hold your breath because there's more. From a network of over 50,000 ATMs, Credit Karma progress starts here. Call to action. God. Are we reading books?
Just so you know,
I'm not reading books.
the yellow parts are the ones you have to read.
I have to read. Everything else I didn't have to read.
You didn't have to read.
Hey, Alex! Why didn't we do that in the first place?
Yeah. Just so you know, the top part, for those of you who have never done podcasts before, when we look at these, the yellow is the part that they need us to read, and the top part
You're making this so much worse on me right now. You're making it so much worse.
He gave you a break to get a water.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
I need a sip.
Yeah.
I need a sip.
There you go.
Right now, visit creditkarma.com/winmoney to open your free account and start winning instant karma. Go to creditkarma.com/winmoney to sign up for free and start winning instant karma. Dundant. That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Dundant. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. No purchase necessary. Exclusions and terms apply. See rules. Banking services provided by MVB Bank Inc. Member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply. So a new transition. I went to college to play football.
Yeah.
I had a 2.0 GPA and I was a general studies major. Not a lot of reading involved, and this is my nightmare, Josh. So, welcome. I don't know where Freddy Krueger's at, but hello, hell.
Hey, that was a long one. Hey, that was a long one.
That was a long one.
They gave you a lot.
And you know what? You know what sucks too?
Yeah.
Our podcast is so rad. We're gonna have about 5 more of them damn things.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get back on the mic eventually. Will's got the next one, but I gotta go again.
I hope the other one has F-Dick on there. That was great.
That was tough.
That
was a little. That one actually was. You know what? I'm not even trying to save that. You know what? Go ahead. Yeah. Said it on accident.
It did. I had never thought of this until I heard you read it out loud.
Go ahead.
But ATMs.
Yeah.
You know, for those of us who may watch
Adam.
a porn or two, that meaning has changed.
What does ATM in the porn world stand for?
Ass to mouth.
Well,
Really?
I'm not against that.
Yeah.
I'm not against that one
Yeah.
bit.
So anytime there's like, there's over 5,000 ATMs, I'm like, where?
Yeah. Lots of ass to mouth here at creditkarma.com.
Is that what's happening? Yeah.
Credit
That
Karma.
was,
Is that what your is ATM? Is that what your son searches in the Pornhub.com?
No.
I heard your little bit not too long ago about
Listen.
catching your son showering. That's why I asked how old you were. I was like,
this is
Hold on. Hey. Whoa. Haven't heard the bit, but how do you catch your son showering? You can hear the water. Is he going in for a peek ski?
nah, yeah.
yeah.
Got you. Duration of the shower.
Delay. And my wife was like, why is he taking such long showers?
No.
And I said, do you not know? And she goes, is he dirty? I'm like, oh, he's dirty, all right.
Oh, he's a dirty boy.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dirty fella.
I wasn't far from the tree, so.
No,
That is a question, especially because you had to tell me what ass to mouth was.
Yeah.
That I probably would guess you've taken a long shower or two.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, I
Although-
think every single person has taken a long shower in their day.
I am not a fan of jerking off in the shower, though.
Where's your spot?
I'm a sock guy.
Yeah.
Really?
It's contained.
Very 80s, 90s of you to do.
but like,
Hey, I
somebody-
was
Oh, you're a sock
I was
guy.
big sock guy.
Wow, look at this.
Like my baseball socks from traveling the games
Yeah.
and stuff. Them boys, they didn't have a chance.
Whoa, those are long socks.
Those are long.
too.
Hey, congratulations.
That's a long.
And you heard it here, folks.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
That was a humble brag right there. Yeah.
And they had baseball. I was really tall for my age, you know?
More.
Yeah,
They were.
yeah.
Yeah. They.
Right down the side.
The material's a little thicker too, so it
Yeah.
feels better.
What do you mean? Wouldn't it feel better if the material wasn't as thick?
I
Well, because it's softer.
I've never been a sock guy.
not
Yeah.
a sock
Let
guy?
me just tell you. Like,
No, I have some weird avenues I've gone down before.
Uh-huh.
You
love
know
the jerk off dick stories. We're
Yeah,
back
well, here we go.
are. Wait a minute.
Here we go. When I was like 10 or 11, and you kind of figure it out, right? You kind of figure out how everything works down there.
Yeah.
I remember Googling, can a woman only make you come? I remember thinking like that's like the only thing.
Google search, dude.
There's
Yeah, I
no
love
way
that.
I can do this by myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching all these things happen
Yeah.
on the internet, and it's like, how is that? Does a woman have to do that only?
By the way, I love how you at 11 you're already at here.
Oh yeah, I'm a 0 to 60. I'm like a Lamborghini in the internet world,
At
dude.
11, I'm like, are those boobs? 11, you're like, ah!
He's like, I know what I'm seeing.
Boo, 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 boo.
so crazy.
Fucking shots everywhere and stuff.
Bukkake videos.
God, this is tough. This has been a tough podcast for you boys so far. But my dad had a what are those things? The back massagers.
Oh, yeah.
That you could turn up and they had the two balls on it, and you
Oh,
put it on your
yeah.
back. Well, I thought this is a genius. I would just lay it there, kind of move it left and right a little bit, and then all over my shorts,
Yeah, that.
everywhere.
Really?
Oh yeah, just threw them in the laundry. So I guess I shouldn't have come at you so hard for the sock, right?
Yeah, I mean, because
Came at you so hard for
the
that.
socks seem smarter than messing up what you're wearing.
Yes,
You know?
you'd think so, but at 11, it's like I just got to get this thing done.
Yeah,
I'm
11,
doing
yeah,
it three,
yeah.
four more times today. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This is just this is
And at 11,
clockwork.
at 11, you've got somebody doing your laundry.
Yeah, which is
Right.
also kind of grosser. And like, think about it now.
Real gross.
You would really hope. You know what I'm saying?
It is tough, but at the same time, like you think, obviously, when you're young, you think you're smarter, you're figuring some stuff out that your parents don't know
You're
about.
not.
And
No.
so you'd be like, all right, it's time to sneak this sock in there and get a little wash.
What we didn't have is the iPhone. iPhone, you can delete all your search history right away.
Right.
Dude, why? Like back in like what early 2000s, you gave
Yo.
computer aids.
This
You
dude,
what? Delete your cookies? Isn't that what it was?
This dude-
Somebody taught me how to delete cookies.
But also now on the app, there's an incognito mode, so you don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah,
It
but
has what? Go ahead. Give him a mic.
incognito mode.
Yes.
Go ahead.
This dude, let me tell you, this dude, at one point in time, he was like, hey, my computer has a virus. I don't know why it has a virus. Can you come look at it? And right at the top, like he was trying to fool me, he had ESPN, CNN. And then
How old is he?
at the time, he was probably 15.
Gotta get your daily dose. Gotta figure out what's going on in the world.
I was
You
like,
know what's going on.
I go, what website you looking at? And he was like, oh, you know, ESPN and CNN. I'm like, oh, CNN.
Oh, it's CNN.
Should've
And
left
then
it at ESPN.
The third website was Cum Fiesta. And I'm like, well, here's your problem.
Kind of a dead giveaway. Couldn't help myself there.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
I'm like,
Cum
here's-
Fiesta.
My favorite thing was when I asked him, I go, what's this? And he goes, and he squinted at, like he didn't know how to read all of a sudden. He squinted at it. He
Yeah,
was
like
like,
Taylor on the ad read.
just like that.
I was like, walking like I did. Come Fiesta.
You know what he called it? I go, well, what's that? He goes, I've never seen those two words before. I go, well, pronounce it for me. He goes, okay. And he started to squint and he
And then-
goes, what does that say? Does that say Cum Fiesta? I'm like, is that what you said?
Fiesta?
You think it says Cum Fiesta? Is that
Fiesta. Yeah.
Mine was tits and ass galore.
Tits and ass
Tits and
galore.
ass
Tits and ass galore.
I don't know if I had like a go-to.
That was
For a little
the
while, he
go-to.
had on his computer. It was round and brown, which I
Whoa, wait.
Round and brown.
How do you remember that? And I don't
Defend
even remember
because
yourself.
I saw that
Defend yourself. Round and brown.
round and brown is not a terrible sight.
No.
Apparently.
Round and brown.
Come back
Yeah.
to this.
Listen, you know what?
Them thick girls.
So many of my jokes are about him,
Yeah.
but he has such a good sense of humor about it.
Was there ever a time that you thought this is too much?
There was a little bit. At one
Yeah.
point, there was a story that he tells that everybody loves for obvious reasons because I look like an absolute ass in it.
Sure.
So I hated it for a little bit, but then somebody David Ortiz told me it was his favorite joke, and I was like, hey, I don't care what you tell.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead and tell any joke
Really?
you want.
David
Like,
Ortiz came out.
That for
Big
me,
Poppy.
Yeah, yeah.
That for me was like I was like, dude, you just gotta have to own up to it. Everything's on the internet, anyways. Like,
Yeah.
just run with it. And,
At least you have
and
a
I
father
eventually did.
funny enough to tell the story.
Right.
Not like an uncomfortable dad at a bar who's had or not a bar, like a barbecue, too many drinks and then
Yeah.
spurts out some shitty
Yeah, yeah,
explanation.
yeah.
My son watches porn now and here's why. Like,
And
at
everyone's
least
like,
somebody's out there
okay.
expressing it, hitting all the cues, getting it done
Yeah.
right.
Also, my deal with him was this, and my daughter too. My deal was, look, if you tell me when it's okay to tell the story.
yeah.
It's all, if you need a couple years, that's cool. But you tell me when it's okay. And so, like, there was a story recently that I hadn't told because his sister wouldn't let me. But recently, okay, so the first practical joke I ever played on these guys, and I'm a big practical joke guy, they played on themselves, but she felt so silly, she wouldn't let me tell it until recently. What happened was, they were young. I was raising the 3 kids by myself at the time. I was a single dad, and my kids were like 8, 5, and 3, right?
Damn.
And we were at Petco, and at the time I made $1,100 a month. We lived in one room together.
Double yikes.
It was and so Petco for me was like a place where it was almost like my babysitter because I couldn't afford a dog, but we could go hold him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when we used to go to toy stores, I had them convinced. Look, you can play with any toy here, just unwrap it, but we can't buy any. They don't let you buy them here, but we can play with them. So we would run to the toy stores and they would unwrap them and we would play them. I would bring batteries and put them in the remote
You're
controls.
lying.
No, we did the whole fucking
That
thing.
is
'cause
so awesome.
I just didn't have the money.
Our amusement park was the trunk of a car, so we would ride around. All 3 of us would get in the back of the trunk, and he would drive in circles in an empty parking lot, and we would roll in the back, and you'd hear gink gink.
I would drive
and
over
we would-
speed bumps and
Yeah.
then goon goon. It was
and
hilarious.
we never batted an eye because
Yeah, dude.
it's what we just did for fun, and we all loved it.
I just didn't have any money to do.
And it's what you knew.
Yeah, and the times we
Yeah.
did
And you're, like,
Disney-
protecting them from thinking, yeah,
the
yeah,
one or
yeah,
two
that's
times
awesome.
we did Disneyland, it was great, but we always had more fun in the back of the fucking car. like,
Hey,
that's all
somebody
it
at
was.
Walt Disney right now is back of the car. It should be, what should it be? It's got to be a Chevy, right? Yeah, it's got to be a Chevy. Put it in there.
All right.
Nice, nice.
The truth is like you find out that the only reason your kids, until they get older, right?
Will's
nothing wrong
slower
with
than
that.
most of us, so a lot of times the
I was
joke
like,
gets
which
sliced with
which
him.
joke is he laughing
He
at?
laughs because
I was
a
like,
lot of
it's
times
a little reaction.
he laughs because everybody else is laughing, and then he gets it. Oh, that was good too. So we'll hear in a couple minutes he'll laugh again. You kind of just gotta, hey, yeah, you're doing great. You know, fuck, man.
Yo,
You good?
yeah, yeah,
You fucking. Oh, that was fucking
Who's
funny.
this?
yeah. I know.
Just pet your dog like emotional support animal. Okay, it's all right. Well,
Bring that one eye, motherfucker. Here's my favorite. The favorite one I ever played on them because, look, at the end of the day, kids are dumb.
I'm so dumb.
They're
No
dumb.
question.
So you can play jokes on
Fair.
them if you.
So are adults.
Look, man, you're not doing as long as you're not doing things to harm them.
Right.
At the end of the day, they're gonna look back and be like, "That was funny." I'm sure when you look back on stories from your childhood, you don't remember how many times your mom or dad cut the crusts off your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You remember that wild shit or that weird. That's the story you tell, right?
Tell them all the time on this pod.
Right,
Yes.
and so parents who take care to make sure nothing bad or nothing weird ever happens to their kids, to me, you're fucking up their stories.
Serial
They're-
killers.
Yeah, you're not raising the right kid.
Yeah.
You know what I did to them? So we were in Petco, and my daughter runs up to me and she goes, "Can I know you're gonna say no to this, but I want to ask anyways." I go, "Okay," and she goes, "Can I have a cookie?" And I said, "I don't have any cookies." And she goes, "No, can I have a Petco cookie?" I go, show me what you're talking about." So we walk over, right? And you know they have those huge bins of dog treats, and some of them look like chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
And I say, I go, "Show me." And she points at it. I go, "You want that cookie?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, Okay.
Yeah.
And so this dude is like, I ate my breakfast. He was 3. I ate my breakfast. Can I have a cookie? I ate my breakfast. I'm like, you want that cookie? And he goes, yeah. And I go, okay. And I turn to my 8-year-old. I go, hey. And he just looks, he's looking at them and he just talks out the side of his mouth to me and he goes, that's dog food, right? And I go, yeah. And then I go, well, you want a cookie? He goes, no. And so they start to put him in their mouth. I go, hey, don't eat him in here. We got to eat him in the car.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind being a bad parent in private, just not in public.
Right.
Public bad.
The key to being a good parent.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure everybody else thinks you're a
Hey,
guy.
don't
I have
let me
2
look
kids.
bad in public.
Yeah.
And I will do whatever I want inside the house, but outside the house, I am all-star
You're
dad.
the
All
best.
the patience in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, do that.
You get snacks in your bag.
Yeah.
You got everything. But at home, you're like, fend for yourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
You throw them out there, throw them to the wolves. The
Yo,
one-eyed dog.
They throw him to the one-eyed dog.
Yeah. She does not do well with kids. We'll get to that.
That dog, because here's the other thing.
This was a gift, so be nice. He's in the bus right now.
The painting was a
The
gift.
painting was a gift.
Painting was a gift.
Oh no.
I mean, but so it looks like his left nostril is also winking. Like
She?
why? She. Sorry. Like what?
Well, it's a deviated septum through college.
And also
Okay.
be careful. Jack's mom drew it, painted it.
But her nose is really like that. So don't worry, Jack.
Okay.
Is
Kathy.
Does Kathy? Is Kathy? Is that what she does? She paints dogs.
Oh.
She's a painter.
That's about it. Yeah, that's not like the end of the story right there. She's a painter.
What, Jack?
The alarm went off.
Oh, the alarm went off. Will you
All right, here we
play
go.
the alarm, please?
Well, who's got this one?
Will does. This will be much better.
I don't know, man.
This is where we kind of just sit here. You know, he'll do a lot better than I did. Reading's not a strong suit for me.
Yeah, I have to tell you though, but that read though, that's gonna sell a lot of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's
I think
why I love it. Because I'm
creditkarma.com
like
owes me
people
more
are
money.
fucking.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You get that instant gratification.
I think
from that.
F-Dick owes you the money. Is that's who owes you the money?
a laugh, one smile equals $1, and I guarantee I at least got 3 smiles there.
100%.
You know?
You playing it? Hey, good job, Jack. Yeah, we got an ad read.
Shit, Jack.
This episode of Bussin' with the Boys is brought to you by Man TF Up or Man the Fuck Up.
Can you curse
These
this one?
guys, yeah, it just has Man TF and then it says Man the Fuck Up down there.
All I see is fuller and thicker.
These guys have struck gold with their ultimate beard growth supplement. This shit works like a charm to help you naturally grow a fuller, thicker, and manlier beard. When you complimented me the other day on my beard, you said,
Yeah.
oh, it's looking nice.
Yeah.
Man the Fuck Up has helped me out.
Oh, really?
If you're struggling to grow a beard, tired of dealing with a patchy bitch beard, oh, Jesus Christ, or you just got a weak chin that you're trying to hide, it's time for you to man the fuck up.
I need to get
It's
on
all
this.
natural and specially formulated to help you grow your facial hair stronger, faster, and healthier. Text Bussin, BUSSIN, to 66097 to score 20% off that Man the Fuck Up Ultimate Beard Growth Formula. No beard filter on social media.
Is there a beard filter?
No
on social
beard
media?
filter on social media
don't
brings
know if
light
there
to
is.
the idea that guys with beards could be hiding weak chins, multiple chins, baby faces, etc. Pretty sure it just puts a double chin on everyone though.
I have all those.
That was a joke.
Oh, does it say insert joke here?
No, it says it says hey, it says in parentheses. Pretty sure it just puts a double chin on everyone though, and then that's why I looked around.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it just puts double chin on everybody though.
Hey, do women like men with beards? Pros and cons of having beards?
I think these are talking points. So what you're supposed to do is ask it. It says general talking points. So you're not supposed to just read it. You're supposed to talk about it.
Oh, you got.
Hey,
There's a lesson for everybody on this
do
podcast.
not let him come into our bus and tell us how to run our shit. You're letting him take over. Hey, stand up for yourself.
I know. I
Stand
go.
up. His voice, his
Oh.
laugh is taking over.
It is. Oh, you guys think women like men with beards?
That was natural too.
Hey, hang on, we gotta tie these points into it. What does man the fuck up beard do? What does a man the fuck up beard do? It enhances your beard. It helps you grow a thicker, fuller beard and gets rid of that patchy bitch beard.
Patchy bitch
that
lawn
everyone
beard, dude.
hates. Go to. Is there a call to action?
Text Tyler right there. Text Bussin.
Text Bussin to 66097 to score 20% off that man the fuck up ultimate beard growth. Back to the episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Enticing.
When you say back to
capturing.
the episode, though, like we're here.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't
hey,
switch it out.
that's
Back to the episode.
That's weeks of sitting alone and like doing the
in the closet, just talking
and then being like, I'm now
I'm
back
going
there.
to get that product.
We're already here.
I need that. So,
You're fucking
when Will's like,
crying.
I'm that you
Hey,
make
he's
me
fucking
laugh,
crying.
dude.
I'm
When you
going
were
to-
saying the patchy beard, I'm like, okay, yeah. Trying to hide a weak chin, I'm like, oh, yeah. Trying to, what he said, a little bitch chin, I'm like, kinda, yeah. I do kinda have a
you
bitch
were
chin,
answering
right?
like he was talking.
Yeah,
to
I
you.
was saying, well, I'm the guy listening to the ad right now. I'm the guy looking up NFTs, last episode joke, and fucking watching the episode and learning the ads.
I am for sure going to see if it works on my pubes.
The way
Really?
I've heard Taylor joke about himself with his beard and everything, when I'm reading those points, I'm thinking like these are things Taylor's like mentioned. So I'm sitting here reading them. Like, man, I hope he's good over there.
Yeah.
He's like
Hey,
trying to hide the
super insecure, but
But if
all
I-
right. Okay.
I heard. I want to
Try to hide
Did
the
you say you're
weak
going to
chin,
use
you just start
use that
fucking-
product on your pubes? Is that
Yeah,
what I
I'm
just
gonna,
heard?
I'm gonna use it on the pubes, and then
Are they
I'm
getting
gonna
more gray than your beard?
I'm gonna unleash them on your mom. I'm gonna be like,
Oh
"What do you
my
think about my
word.
quarantine pubes?"
Dude,
Jesus
Awful
Christ.
what, so you a big grow those things out guy?
I'm gonna with that stuff. I want to see how it
I
works.
wonder if that works down there.
Oh,
like
we're gonna
that.
find out.
If it needs sunlight to grow, you know, like photosynthesis, or if it's okay in the dark,
I'm
in a
gonna find-
swampy area.
Yeah, I think things grow in moisture.
Yeah, bacteria grows in moisture.
Yeah,
Bacteria, and now I'm looking smart. Bacteria in a sweat, hot area.
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot, dude. Oh my God. Well, you can read, I guess,
by the
but
way-
what have you read? But what have you read?
He goes, hey man, I think those are just general talking points.
How do I do that?
He's like, you can just pick one or two and talk about it.
He said pause it and just gave you a quick little thing. All right, back to it. You've got this. Everyone heard it. God damn. Holy shit. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
Well, this has been one of my favorite podcasts so far. I'll be honest
just a
with
lot
you.
of laughter.
34 minutes of, dude, even if the joke's not funny, your laugh is so infectious.
I got to tell you, man. So for me, I like to have fun. Like, and I don't.
Easy to
I'm
see.
unapologetic for it. You're like, why am I going to go somewhere and not have a good time?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't understand that whole. I get one ride on this rock. You can say whatever the fuck you want to me. Nothing anybody says bothers me, bumps me, because I know I'm on my one ride. And when I go somewhere, I'm gonna have a good time.
Good.
That's it. I'm gonna have a good fucking time.
Done.
That show you went to the other night,
Yeah,
at Zany's.
yeah. You told the cookie joke, by the way.
I told the cookie joke.
You
right?
told the cookie
I'm
joke.
surprised you remembered that.
But you shit faced. But like so.
Yeah, hey, he knows at the
Yeah.
fucking bar afterwards. I was like, hey, bro, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I was like, I
Was he
need
that bad?
I was like, I need help. He ended up at the end too. He's like, no, I'm way too fucked up. We got to get out here. And I looked
Yeah.
at Brad. I was like, hey, I need help. We got to go.
You
told his
can't
buddy he
drink
needs
with
help.
jelly.
Yeah.
You can't drink with
Jelly Roll is a tank, man.
Can't drink.
He was drinking he drank half a fifth on our bus.
He drank half a handle
No, a
of
fifth.
tequila.
A smaller.
He drank. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
you're telling me a story now.
He drank
Sorry.
half a handle of tequila at his video shoot. Straight out, right. And I was like, what
It's
we doing?
outstanding.
Like, here you go, Bubba. Let's
You
take
can't
some
even get
shots.
mad at him, and he's got a way with words.
Yes, he
And When
does.
he calls you Bubba, you're like, well, I am a part of this.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah, yeah.
You feel like I am in this.
Yeah.
He's handing you shots, and they're like quadruples, bro.
So you never do the toss over the shoulder?
No.
I do that to people.
I
at the
should've,
bar
but no,
all the
I didn't.
time. If someone's like, "Hey, man, oh yeah, let me ask you a football question," and they ask me, and they come over later, let me give you some Jack Daniels. I'm like, "Thanks, man," and I just toss it over. I'm not getting roofied.
So when the lineman,
You know what I'm
the
saying?
intelligence of the lineman just fucking.
I feel like I could get got. You know,
I mean, I have to tell you, I'm a little insulted. Nobody's ever tried to roofie me before.
I think somebody has, and I'm gonna hang my hat on that, but I have no proof. You know,
You think somebody's tried to roofie me?
well, maybe, but I'm more talking about myself.
Yeah.
Watch out for that.
I mean, I feel like just one time would have been nice for
Yeah.
someone to be like, I
Yeah.
tried to roofie you. And be like,
Wake
thanks,
up.
man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you thinking I wouldn't say yes.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I'll go in my way. Unless you don't want to go
no,
again.
You're good.
Okay,
we're
then
all
I'll
good,
just
yeah.
put this on.
Yeah. But I also like, I think I'm generally, when I'm out, I'm getting fucked up enough where I'm sure people are like, he doesn't need the roofie. I think
maybe.
he's on his way by himself.
You a big drinker?
I used to be, I make bad life decisions when I drink. So
Yeah.
I hadn't drank in probably 4 or 5 years. Jelly Roll switched that all around. But I'm a
has an effect.
huge weed guy and a huge mushroom guy. Like I take mushrooms, I'm taking mushrooms tonight.
Don't you do it every Monday?
Every Monday night.
Mushrooms, as in like a 3.5. You have an actual boom, like you actually go and, or you
depends.
take like a microdose.
What's 3.5 boom?
3.5 grams is the proper amount you would take to have
A hero's journey.
Yeah, hero's journey. I like that. I'm
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
that.
hero's journey.
It's now in my back pocket.
Yeah.
And also, that's two things I've had to explain to people today, so that makes me look even smarter now.
Yeah.
Or a drug addict, one of the two, right? So it's whatever.
By the way, you're lucky I didn't have to teach you math over quarantine. You would have learned grams and fractions, and that's about it.
That is it. That is all.
Yeah, but I take about 1.5 to 2 grams, and then I'll take 200 milligrams of edibles, and then I'll smoke a joint, and then I turn on my camera, and I just see what happens.
Really?
Every
And it's just live or whatever.
I live stream it.
Wow.
I live stream
Jesus
it.
Christ.
And there have been times. Remember, there were times when we were in California, and I remember I was out back, and the show ended. And he leaned over from the patio and he goes, "How's it going?" I go, "You're gonna have to come help me upstairs." And he was like, "I'm coming."
Yeah.
Yeah. He would had to.
That is, well, first off, forget the mushrooms. 200 milligrams. I don't do weed.
Right.
Never have.
Right.
But
But if you
that
did.
seems excessive. Yeah. That seems like a lot to me.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll was on here and said, what do you say? I had a 1,000? I had
It was
1,000
something
before
like
it came
that.
on. It's something
He said a light 1,000 on the way over here.
on the way over here.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't even imagine. Friends I know take
Yeah.
5 milligrams and just literally on the
Upwards,
floor.
Never anything over 20, really.
And yeah, dead body if you would do
Yeah.
over 20.
Yeah, like
You know what I'm saying? From what I've.
Yeah,
I take
Researched.
100 and go on stage on my Saturday late show.
And you never get you never get the scaries. You never feel like, oh God, what if
No.
these
Oh,
people?
yeah, I'd be.
No, I,
Will.
Hey, but we can imagine what I would be like.
We can imagine.
We can imagine.
And
what
I'm
I'd
sure
be
it's
like.
it's pretty deer in the headlights. I can imagine what Will's like, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot like a deer in the headlights.
well, like listen, that show that you came and watched, and you know how insane it is. I do 100 milligrams before I do that show.
Really. Mm-hmm. And the
Wow.
mushrooms too.
The
But I feel like so too. Just 2 grams of mushrooms. How does that feel? As opposed to the hero's journey you spoke on before.
it is okay. So 2 grams of mushrooms is giggly.
Yeah.
But you definitely like your vision. It's not. Your vision's different. The best way I can see it is like sometimes if I was looking at you, I'd be looking at you like through a screen door.
Right.
Or when you moved, there would be part of you that
It would
stayed
look
there.
like- it would look
you know
like
what I
that.
mean, and the other
Yeah.
part like that kind of
Sounds
I'm
like a
not
salvia.
hallucinating.
Were you ever a salvia guy?
No, but I heard about it.
God damn.
What's
I can
salvia?
tell that story. Yeah, that was in college. That was a bit of a deal. But I want to hear the.
Well,
It sounds like what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's super fun, and you have like a warmish feeling, but
Yeah.
you're not out of control.
Sure.
The 200 milligrams pushes you a little closer to out of control.
Right. And the joint.
And then the joint with some wax in it. Yeah, it's all.
See ya. See you later.
Sometimes, so I do it tonight, and so sometimes I'll just pick up kids' books,
Mm-hmm.
children's books, and I'll read children's books.
So why do you? Okay. So what made you? Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
How did you decide to do this?
Yeah, like what made
Honestly-
you want to do
Okay,
that every Monday?
Well,
without any like, oh, let's just pick up a children's book, see what happens.
I started. There was this last little bit of me on stage that I didn't consider to be free. Like I was still holding on to, like I was like, I'm just still care a little too much about what they think, about acting stupid, about telling a joke that's gonna bomb, and I can't be great at what I do if I'm still worried about other people.
Yeah.
I just can't be. I can't be scared to tell a joke or try something because I'm scared to look stupid. How can I look stupid and still, how can I prove to myself that I can look stupid and it'll be all right? So I was like, I'm going to get super high on camera and I'm going to say stupid shit. And then I'm going to wake up tomorrow and see how I feel. And I did it. And I read through comments and they were like, this is the funniest stream. It's so fun to see something. And instead of saying I looked stupid or saying stupid stuff, they were like, it's so nice to watch somebody who's comfortable and doesn't care and is just being themselves. And I was like, oh, so they're seeing the same things, but they're assigning something positive to it. And I was just assigning something negative on my own, man. Right? I was assigning negative. They were seeing positive. And so I just kept doing it. And it has made me because I do the stupidest, you can imagine on 2 grams of shrooms, 200 milligrams in a joint, I'm doing some pretty dumb
what I've
shit.
read.
Right, yeah. I'm doing some pretty dumb
Yeah, we
shit.
can imagine.
And like, I wake up the next day and I'm like, I'm fine. And so it's just been, and then it developed such a fucking crazy following. Like I only smoke my joints out of baby hands.
Yeah. Okay.
So, can you pull up a picture of that baby hand, Boomer?
Wait, what?
I think I've
you only
seen
smoke
that.
a
I think
joint
I've
on a
seen that
baby hand?
actually.
Yeah, so I
Super
put,
funny.
I put the baby hand on my finger, I put the joint in the baby hand, and I smoke it like this.
Yeah.
And
Tiny little baby hand.
That's it.
Little tiny guy.
Oh, those are a couple of them. Let me see. That's it.
God, that is so funny.
That's it. Yep. Well, that's weird.
That's just well placed comedy. That's what that is.
It's
It's just well placed. It's funny.
It's fun, man. And you know what? Like, people bring baby hands to shows and have me sign them.
Really.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
So how old were you? Well, you got introduced to comedy when you were what, 15 years old?
Yeah,
When you're
15.
really young.
Yeah.
When did you decide to start doing comedy? Was that at 15, or did you see something that changed your opinion on?
I tried it at 15.
Sure.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
The first joke I ever told, my mom and dad were in the front row. I was 15. I stepped on, and by the way, I was wearing acid wash jeans.
Cool.
I had some chunky white high tops, not laced up, with the jeans tucked into them. I was wearing a white mesh shirt.
Mesh.
It was tight mesh, like a football jersey, but
Okay.
still white and plain.
Sure.
I had a thick.
Feels like a Carrot Top act.
It wasn't good, dude. I had
Yeah.
a thick silver chain, not like a rope, but like one King Tut would have wore. I had, you know what I mean? I had a hat and I had a killer mullet, like a killer mullet. And I thought I looked good, man.
Yeah.
And I walked on stage.
Thought this is gonna kill him.
And my mom and dad were in the front row. And I remember I asked the dude who ran the open mic, I go, what should I talk about? He said, talk about what you know. I knew my parents. And so the first joke I ever told was, hey, everybody, I'm Josh. I'm 15 years old. I'm really happy. My mom and dad are here. And this is the first fucking time I'll be able to fucking swear in front of my cocksucking mom.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, oh, no.
Yeah. It's over. It's done.
But I heard the laughs.
It's
and
all
I
in the
was
vision
like,
of art.
Yeah. I had a silent car ride home. Yeah, my mom walked in ahead of us, and my dad was like, hey, look, you're going to have to find your own way the next time. I'm like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
What did she say when the words did come out?
The next day,
Yes.
she said, I thought you felt very natural up there.
Yeah.
That was about it.
That's nice.
That was nice.
To feel comfortable with a mic in your hand in front of, let's say, a dozen people. I don't know what it's like
There was
at 15.
probably 50 people there.
50 people.
Yep.
That's got to be, to feel comfortable in that way is a unique thing to have.
I'm going to tell you something without a doubt, and this has only changed recently. I've always felt more comfortable on stage.
Really?
I've always felt more true to myself on stage. And off stage, I always felt like I was putting on a show. And so on stage is where I felt most comfortable, just because I was in control of all aspects. I don't know why, man, but on stage is where I just felt normal.
Why do you think it took being off stage to you feel like you were putting on an act? Is it because you're funny, you're a comedian, then you meet people and people are expecting funny?
I think so.
They're expecting you to be that guy?
Yes.
Tell us a joke right now?
Yes.
You know?
Right? And so, and that's it. Like, off stage, you want the funny to come organically. And so, but you think people are expecting it so much all of the time.
Right.
You just put a little pressure on yourself to be like, well, I'm the entertainment.
Right.
One of the reasons I started saying no to parties is because I was like, I can't.
Well, I hate to do this to you. This
Yeah,
is an
yeah.
amazing.
No.
This is an amazing.
Started saying no to
story.
parties. Started saying no to parties. Started saying no to parties.
Who's reading this one?
Your boy.
Oh, all right, here we go.
Oh, Georgia Boot. Will
I love
Compton is a
Georgia
huge
Boot.
fan of Georgia Boot, and so am I. Let me tell you a little about Georgia Boot. Georgia Boot is the world's most comfortable boot. Georgia Boot is America's hardest working boot. For over 80 years, Georgia's, that's, I guess we're not putting boot in that part. Georgia's been making boots that work as hard as you do. Not talking about the guy working in the cubicle. I'm talking about you, who goes outside and works his ass off every single day. Tough enough for your job, cool enough for everything else. You want to go to a comedy show? You just came from work? Guess what? You can still wear your Georgia boots, all right? Because people will look at you and go, those are kind of nice. That's a good deal. Right? Thank you.
Yep.
Georgia Boot makes super good looking, super comfortable boots. So comfortable you will never take them off unless, I'm assuming they're not going to sleep in them. But I would say for everything else, probably.
You can sleep in them.
I like looking good. This is where I say it. I like looking good, even when I'm working. And these boots do that. Now, that was tough because my job involves me playing football.
But you worn them. I saw you at practice.
I
once.
did. I was
That
out of
was a
practice
funny
and
day.
I was doing
That
a
was a
pass. That's
funny
probably
day.
why I tore my ACL. Not Georgia Boot's fault. It's my own for not using the proper footwear. Great looking boots that are wildly comfortable at the price you can't afford. Every time I wear these boots, people ask me where I got them. They say, "Hey, guy," and I say, "Yeah, fella." They say, "That's an interesting sock you have on your leg, but also, where'd you get those shoes?" I say, GeorgiaBoot.com is where I got those. Whether you're working on your feet all day, working around the house, or grilling out with your friends, these boots won't sacrifice comfort or style. Head over to GeorgiaBoot.com and use code Bussin for 20% off. Let me say that one more time. Head over to GeorgiaBoot.com and use code Bussin for 20% off. Now, before we get back to the show,
Come on, man.
let's talk about something real quick.
that's
what-
all right. That's
What
all right.
happened?
man.
What happened between the first and second one? Like I literally had like a.
I feel like
something was missing.
I don't know.
And then all of a sudden it turned on.
I think this too because
Maybe a nerve thing. I was nervous around
right.
you, I
We
think.
had a whole lot of fun doing it last week, and I know it's like this is what we want to do moving forward. Now we have a guest sitting there, and
It's
it's like
tough.
the things are going off. You kind of hear it, and you're like, should we kind of stop what we're doing?
You gotta interrupt
You know,
them.
And then you lead up and try and read, and
You're
you
the
just don't
perfect
know.
guest to start that at, though, because you, like you said, you're having a good time.
Yeah.
So you're in the middle of a conversation, but an ad's got to read the hey, cha-ching's got to happen when cha-ching's got to happen. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And you know what else? But I would say, and I bet you if the people who were paying you to read these ads were honest, when you mess up, it's actually funnier, and they just want people to remember the ad.
Right.
I think the most listened to ad of all time ad read.
Besides Georgia Boot.
Besides Georgia Boot, have you ever heard the Bill Burr Sherry's Berries?
Yes.
But Sherry's Berries will tell you that was the most productive ad read. But all he did was lay into them, like he laid into them.
I'm a huge Bill Burr guy.
Dude,
Can we
have you
listen
not
to
heard
it?
that?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
Can we just take a 3 minutes and put the cans
It's-
on and just listen to it?
Oh, let's put the cans on.
And I want to get back to what you were talking about.
Something about not going to a party or something.
Oh,
You said you're not going to a party.
Started feeling comfortable.
This might be the favorite name of anything I've ever advertised here, other than One Wipe Charlie's. Sherry's Berries. It says insert story when you've given or received the gifts. Well, I've been out of town. I haven't gotten Sherry's Berries yet. All right, Sherry's Berries. Since the end of the year is all about delicious holiday food, why not send an extra special holiday treat to friends, family, business associates, everyone you know? I've never met a person who didn't love Sherry's Berries. Send giant dipped strawberries from Sherry's Berries for only $19.99. That's over a 40% savings. Go to berries.com, click on the microphone, and type in Burr, B-U-R-R. For my listeners, double the berries for just $10 more. Berries are terrific and a sweet holiday gift. They also have delicious products such as Christmas cake pops, cheesecakes, and dipped pretzels. Here's the only way to get this special $19.99 Sherry's Berries offer. Call 866-FRUIT. I'm sorry. What the fuck am I selling? Did I approve this? This is fucking ridiculous. Who the fuck is gonna buy this shit? This is the funniest shit. What? Christmas cake pops, cheesecakes, and dipped pretzels. Call 866-FRUIT, everybody.
Hey, his laughing
I'm
voice.
866-FRUIT-0-2. Or even better, visit berries.com. Oh, punch drunk. Oh, please spell out the words. Oh, by all means, berries. B-E-R-R-I-E-S. Berries. Click on the microphone in the top right corner and type in Burr. You got to see these enormous berries for yourself. I swear to God, this is the copy. Go to berries.com, click on the microphone, and type in Burr. Type in Burr. Dip your balls and dip your berries in that. Don't wait now. Order some chocolate berries for the fucking person in your life.
For the fucking
Shit,
person
I
in your
needed
life?
That was wonderful.
Holy shit. Holy shit, that was outstanding.
Sherry's Berries.
Oh my God.
It's one of like, so Sherry's Berries. I think they came out and said that's the best read we've ever had
Really?
because all they want is for people to remember the product.
Yeah, you're
You know what I mean?
There's
Yeah.
a tear on your
Oh,
right,
dude.
on your eye, dude. I
mean,
was
well,
crying too.
Burr is like
He's been crying like the entire episode.
He's outstanding.
Burr is
This video's got 640,000 views.
yeah.
Just
You don't think
Sherry's
Sherry's Berries.
You don't think Sherry's Berries loves
Oh, they love every-
640,000 views?
Hey, we need Sherry's Berries to
Yeah.
throw us something for that. We
No
just
free shout-outs.
played the most
No free
famous
shout-outs.
ad read,
Sherry
dude.
Berries, you better fucking come correct,
You better
buddies.
come- and by the way, I want to hear you guys practice that accent. Sherry's
Berries. Dude, he since he's so known for like kind of being an asshole, like
Yep.
that's his comedy. When what is the thing he did that he got so much backlash on?
Philadelphia show.
No, the
I thought,
Grammys.
yeah, I was gonna
Grammys.
say he was a
The Grammys.
yeah.
God damn, people were. He was trending on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, I'm a Burr fan. Let's see what's going on. And people
Yeah.
are just absolutely murdering
dummying him.
It was like Indian,
But it's always
male
Twitter.
Indian actor of the year award. He's like, not sure why we have this. And he just fucking you read it, just totally downplaying the human that won it. God.
I texted him, and I was like,
Flex.
how's it going? And he just basically said, and this is his deal, man. And he was 100%. He was like, none of this is real. I don't worry about that shit. And
Yeah.
I was like, he's right.
He is right, dude. Like,
not
Twitter's just so-
It's not real, man. And so, and he was like, I don't care. He said, none of those people are buying tickets to my show. And
Right.
he's right, man. He's right. Like, he's 100% right. You can't
Can't please them
worry.
all.
And his SNL, did you watch the monologue?
That thing, it was like 5 minutes. I was dying.
Of
And
Jim-
he
of
was
him?
murdering people.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Murder.
Yes.
But you know what else? Like, it's one thing for me, and here's the key to comedy. Like, you know who Joey Diaz is?
Yes.
There aren't people who leave his show like he was offensive because he's so authentic. The people who I find, who people go, he's offensive, or I don't like what he's saying, are the people who feel shock jockey, who feel like they're trying to say something to make you go, but Burr and Joey Diaz, they're so authentic to who they are that you may not agree with what they say, but you know they're not saying it just to get just to rile you up.
Right.
This is who they are. This is the person you're watching. And so Burr is so fucking authentic. And that's why none of that shit bothers him too, because he's like, I'm just telling you what my truth is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be on board for it, but I'm just telling you what my truth is.
Yeah, I love that. And
Yeah.
I think it's needed more than ever right now.
Without a doubt.
It is tough when you got to kind of tiptoe around everything. Everything's, I mean, I don't want to, but here I am.
Right.
Trying to be, hey, I don't want to sound insensitive, but at the same time, it's like, we just need to all calm down and be able to take a joke. People really need to be able to
People
take a
take
joke.
life way too
100%.
seriously.
Way too serious. Now, I've been thinking about that whole, the Jewish thing we talked about in the beginning of the show. I'm like, God damn, I might get killed for that.
But one of the reasons
I said something about I literally said Hitler on the show.
But that's the thing, man. One of the reasons that I do that right up front is just to let you know
Guards are down.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm good. Like, I'm good. You, first of all, somebody who doesn't have my last name, there's nothing you can say to me that would offend me. I don't fucking know you.
Right.
I don't care what your opinion of me is because it's not an informed opinion. It's whatever you see online, or you don't like a joke, or you know, I do some musical comedy, right? And one of the songs that I do is about a dude with a guy with man boobs. And I shot a video, and the guy in the video has some great jiggly titties.
Yeah, outstanding.
And I got a message that from a trans person who was like, "That's pretty insensitive to trans people." And I'm like, "It's a joke about a man with jiggly tits. If you take it past that, that's on you, right?" So
Yeah,
that's
amen.
the
How
thing
is
for me.
it? How is? Did they elaborate?
I didn't know because I'm not getting into that.
Yeah.
I know what
Especially
my,
behind the keyboard too.
exactly, and because I know what my intent is. My intent is to make fun of dudes with big tits. How you read that is up to you. Do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
How you read that is up to you. And that's the thing. There's such a difference between jokes and being prejudiced or racist. And if you can't tell the difference, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
We really do. And there is a problem. We should be able to. Do you know what makes it worse? Is the fact that you're telling me I can't joke about it. Now we are dividing things up, right? Like, okay.
It's like they need you to act how they perceive you.
Comedy is like a safe place for everything, though.
Should
Kind
be.
of, it's an everything goes
Should be.
genre.
And I would say this too. And I do some jokes in a specific order in my set where I make fun of dudes. And then I'll make a couple comments about women. And I'm like, hey, I watched you laugh at the guy jokes. You can't pick and choose.
Oh, there's like a woman sitting there.
Yeah, I'll tell them straight
And
up.
you'll say it to them on stage.
And part of it is like I make a couple of man titty. Like I do the song about the man tits. And then there's one song about a dude with a tiny dick. And then I do a song about fupas. And some women don't laugh. I'm like, you laughed at small dick, you laughed at jiggly titties
They're
on
out there.
dudes. You can't pick and choose.
Right.
Either every jiggly body part is funny or none of them. But you can't laugh at my man's small dick and not laugh at your fupa.
Absolutely.
Like there's no line, right? And so I do that kind of stuff just to show people the ridiculousness. Now you can't go on stage as a white dude and start dropping the N-word, and that's not funny.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So for the people who be like, they're ruining my jokes. No, if you're dropping the N-word, then you don't get what we're saying. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not, they don't love you
Yeah.
because you can't say
Pretty
the N-word
unanimous.
anymore. You think
Yeah.
America's going down the wrong path?
Yeah.
Nah. But to be able to make jokes, we are different. Yo, you ask any black person you know, white people and black people are exactly the same, right? No. Well, that's what they want us to say, that we're all the same. Aren't we all the same? No. Culturally, we're all fucking different. That's great. That's what make America great.
Right.
But because there's differences, we get to poke fun of those fucking differences.
Right. Otherwise, if we're all the same, there's nothing to make fun of.
That's
Yeah.
the deal. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah.
We want, look, at the base level, we're all the same. We're people.
Right.
But we grew up different. We have different experiences. We have different histories. We grew up in different culturally. So we all are incredibly different. Why can't we poke fun of those differences?
So has this always been a thought process of yours, or has it developed over time and learning more and being in the comedic world?
Well, you know, I grew up with 3 older brothers.
Yeah.
I grew up in an era where there wasn't a whole lot of sensitivity. You know, even with the adults. I had a baseball coach at a very young age, and I didn't understand it until later. He used to refer to the black kids on the other team as the skill players.
Yeah.
He was like, that team's got a lot of skill players. And I was like, I didn't understand for a long time. I was like, I don't know. What's he talking about?
Yeah.
And then finally my dad was like, hey, don't refer to them as skill players.
Oh, your dad was.
Yeah.
He was hip enough to understand that.
Well,
we
my
don't
dad
do
was
that.
straight up. He was like,
Yeah.
this is just so you know that's racist. I'm like, oh, okay. But I grew up in it. But people just, I had a friend's dad who used to call me the Jew kid. Is the Jew kid coming over? And I was like, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Mazel tov. You know what I mean? But that never seemed weird to me, just because that guy genuinely, like, that dude drove me to the hospital in a breakdown lane in his car at 90 miles an hour. He loved me like a son.
Yeah.
I was also the Jew kid from down the street.
Sure.
It was not, I knew the intent. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I get what you're saying.
I knew the intent.
I 100% get what you're saying.
But we've
being a non-Jewish, just regular white guy,
Yeah.
it's like I can't sit here and be like, yeah, absolutely.
No, you can't.
We should refer to everybody as the Jew kid. You
Like
know, I can't-
laugh at him saying
Well,
that back. Yeah, I totally get it.
No, I think it's funny, and I love the fact that you saw through how he saw you, but what he said, I like that.
Right.
The
But now I'm
word-
sitting here with cameras, and I can't go, fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's because I have another job.
Yeah.
I had another one.
Here's the honest truth. The honest truth is, even at a young age, the
all
word
fucking sit down.
Yeah.
didn't mean anything to me, because his actions are what meant something to me.
Yes.
He fed me. When I slept at the house, he made my bed. He drove me to Little League practice. He drove me to the hospital.
Right.
His actions showed me that this dude loved me. When I used to go back home, he always, when his son was back home, he was like, hey, make sure Josh comes over. I want to make sure,
So you became Josh eventually.
when I got a little older, yeah.
Yeah. He went, well,
I think that Jew kid
after your
could
bar
beat me up
mitzvah,
now.
after your bar mitzvah, they brought, okay, well, now you can just be Josh.
But like, that's it. Like, I was smart enough to know this guy loves me. But he grew up in an era where that Jew kid wasn't a bad thing to say.
right.
Do you know what I mean? That wasn't
yeah.
100%.
That wasn't a negative thing, and I wasn't gonna penalize him. And so
Does it make it wrong or right based on the era they grew up?
I think
Because if you go back to slavery, it's like, I'm sure a lot of people probably here would have had slaves,
Yeah.
but we wouldn't have known that it was wrong. Now that we know it was wrong, do you look back at him and do people think that guy's wrong for saying that?
Yeah, interesting. It's when that stuff happened with Mike Vick, and we have a dog and we love dogs. I love dogs, but I know people who have grown up thinking that's an animal.
Right.
That's an animal. And look, my grandmother, my mom's mom. This is not so far removed. If the dog was in the house, she wouldn't walk in. She was like, "That's an animal who belongs outside. Put it in the backyard."
Really?
I'm not in the house with the animal. She took it as an insult that you want me in the house with the animal. That was just right. I don't know if you guys have ever met people who grew up like that, fighting dogs, and they don't see them as right. So as horrific and terrible. To me, obviously he deserved to be punished, but that's when you don't forgive people, you don't give them a chance to learn. So everybody is allowed their learning curve. You don't get judged on your mistake, man. You get judged on how you respond after your mistake.
Right.
Are you the same asshole? Well, then I got no love for you.
Right.
Are you somebody like Mike Vick? Clearly. Who took all the classes, bro. he finally was allowed to get a dog for his daughter. Did you read that? They finally allowed him. This dude worked hard, so you're allowed to become a better person.
So now that should be what you're saying is now we should just move on from Mike Vick doing the dog fights.
Yo, you're allowed to become a better person, right? And so if you grew up in an era or in an area where you all the grown-ups around you were saying terrible things about black people, you're a kid. You're going to believe what these grown-ups say. You know what I'm saying?
You're product of what you've been taught. Absolutely.
Right. So now,
So some guy in the sticks of Tennessee, just using Tennessee because we're in Tennessee,
Right.
who, goes to a Klan meeting or less aggressive, doesn't like the black kid across the street. Like that kid, his son is learning from him or his daughter is learning from him. How do you teach that kid that that's not okay?
right, I'm listening to these two people, my parents. When you're a kid, your parents are Superman.
Dude,
Superman
they're
and
God.
Superwoman, right?
They everything
So
they say goes.
If you tell me those black people, the Mexicans are stealing your job, and I'm growing up with a fear of brown people, I'm gonna take that with me, man. That's my experience. Now I feel terrible for that kid, but that kid, and there's no excuse for behavior. And if you end up being a racist person or you end up being, hurting somebody else, you need to be punished. But then you also need to be allowed to learn.
Yeah, and be forgiven.
The best thing that happened with Nick Cannon, when Nick Cannon said that shit about Jews, and Julian Edelman was like, hey man, let me introduce you to some rabbis. That's the way, instead of canceling people.
He's been pretty
Was
forward
it
about a lot of
Cannon
things,
or
hasn't
was
he?
it Deshaun
Edelman's had a couple
Jackson?
people.
Both.
Yeah,
Deshaun, right?
Deshaun said something about Jewish people?
Well, yeah, he posted something on a story that was.
But Edelman did it the
Yeah.
right way, man. I'm not shaming you. This is what you believe. I'm here to tell you.
Right.
Let me introduce you to some people. So if you cancel them, if you cancel Nick Cannon, if you cancel Deshaun Jackson, you're pushing them even further into the wrong group of think. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna fucking dig in. You're canceling me? That must
Right,
be
you
right.
put 'em into
then.
a corner.
Must be right. Instead of, hey man, come here. Let me put my arm around you and let me show you. This is a rabbi. You don't think the Holocaust is real? Tell him. Let me show you this number. Let me show you where I've been. Let me bring you over to Auschwitz.
Right.
All this stuff, which teaches people.
Yeah.
But you start to cancel them, and then that makes it stronger together.
Right.
It just doesn't do anything.
Canceling can do a lot more harm than good because then that person just goes away and they don't learn anything. And then they're just secluded and then they get mad maybe at the thing that
100%.
that they said something negative about, if it was Jewish people or black people or whatever.
And then the people who are like, obviously, as a lot of us are, anti-cancel culture, but then a lot of people are like, see? And it makes their stances even stronger. They're trying to silence us, right?
Right.
And so that makes
Because everyone has a platform now.
nothing makes you fight harder than when you think somebody is trying to take something that you have.
No question.
Right? So
Yeah.
right. So the way do you want to motivate somebody? Tell them I'm gonna take those guns. You are? Yeah, I'm gonna take those guns. Well, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fight for that. I'm gonna take your freedom of speech. Something that I already have. Man, I'm gonna fight for that. And so when you get the cancel thing, instead of learning, you know what I mean? Where did you grow up?
Grew up in Arizona.
You grew up in Arizona. And
Yeah.
you grew up in Nebraska?
Missouri.
Missouri. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, shut up, Missouri, though, baby. Whoa. He just continued. Hang on. Before we get back to shouting out Missouri.
Time to light the cross.
Holy shit. Josh Wolf single-handedly gets busted with the boys canceled.
Last episode, we almost made it to 100 episodes.
Holy shit.
Made it! God damn, that's funny.
All right, here we go.
Sport clips.
Shout out Sport Clips. No free shout outs. God damn it, Josh. Sport Clips, haircuts offers.
Start over, can't curse.
This episode is also brought to you by Sport Clips. Sport Clips Haircuts offers a unique experience that exceeds the typical haircut from start to finish. Sport Clips stylists are experts in men's and boys' haircuts with specialized training and techniques. Cutting guys' hair can be a lot harder than cutting women's hair. Did you know that?
I did not know.
Face structure, texture of your hair, all that stuff. It's harder to cut men's hair than it is women's hair.
Will went to a Supercuts one time, totally fucked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. When you go to Sport Clips versus a place that cuts women's hair, you are getting stylists who are specifically trained to cut guys' hair. They're experts in understanding facial shape, hair texture, and cutting to the guy's best advantage. Sport Clips' signature service is the MVP haircut experience. It is so much more than a haircut. The legendary hot steam towel on your face massaging shampoo
That
that
sounds dirty,
makes
but it
you
isn't.
melt into
Yeah.
your seat. It's the ultimate relaxation.
Massaging shampoo that makes you melt into your seat.
With 1,800 locations nationwide,
That's a lot
a
of
Sport
people.
Clips is closer than you think. And your experience is even better with on-deck text alerts, which means a lot less wait time and more prime time. You'll get a 15-minute heads up when it's time to head in, and another text when you are next or on deck. Sport Clips give you
Baseball
more
reference.
ways to save time so you can enjoy your prime time. Disclaimer must read. Text message opt-in required. Message and data fees may apply. Visit a Sport Clips near you for a haircut that exceeds the typical experience from start to finish.
it says
Back
Sport
to the
Clips.
episode.
By the way, that's the graphic. This is like it's like doing a podcast with Ron Burgundy. Like you guys are literally.
Who put a question mark on the teleprompter?
You guys are.
Oh my god, dude.
It's so crazy. I'm surprised you don't read. Period.
This has been my favorite ad. Do we have any more ads?
Yeah.
Thank Christ. Or whichever one. Sorry, whichever one.
yeah.
Whichever one.
We thanked them when we were putting them up there. Thanks, man. Bang, bang.
Holy
Thanks,
shit.
dude. Appreciate it.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's so funny, dude. Before.
Hey, on your question though, I think like you said, back in the day versus now, like canceling people.
Oh, we're
whatever.
back to okay.
Well, that's what we were still. Oh wait, we were talking about Missouri.
Well, we're talking about Missouri. We were talking about how you were getting comfortable with going to parties, and then we transitioned and we were saying what I said, that question.
Yeah.
So go
yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
take it.
I was just saying, like, I feel like context matters too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people are obviously digging way back in the day and trying to, I guess, cancel people for stuff, you know, back then, whenever it was. I think, like, context matters a lot because, again, like, you know, you just don't know how people necessarily grew up. Right, wrong, indifferent. Like, it's just what it is. Like, take myself from being a Missouri boy, growing up in a small town where it's predominantly white.
Yeah.
You just grow up in this bubble.
That's what I was going to ask.
Not understanding what else is out there. Going to Nebraska was a huge eye opener for me. Some people will be like, "Oh, Nebraska, like, you know, how's that? Is that much different?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But being in a locker room with guys from Texas, California, all over the place, you get a different perspective of what the world's like. Then every now and then you go home and you kind of just see the difference in, I won't say maturity because I don't want to disrespect, you know, everybody I know back in Missouri, but like you just see the difference in opinions and perspectives. And then you go to D.C. on the Washington football team, and again, you're now on the East Coast. You're in a city that is around
Predominantly
the White
black.
House, yeah. And again, another locker room. You're meeting different people. You come to Tennessee, you're in another different locker room from different people. And then the more you kind of trickle back and you go back home, you realize like people are just in their own bubbles. And these people in their own bubbles with their own thought processes and how they grew up and how they know it to be, they have access to the same thing everyone has access to. A platform to like social media to say their opinions.
Right.
And then those people in that bubble that I go back to and, you know, and you kind of just think like that's not reality. Like, you know, you think what you want, but that's just not how shit is, man. But you realize
But
like they don't know no different. Like
And
my
it's
grandpa
it's
grew
really
up,
important to leave where you grew up.
Yeah. It's
really important.
yeah.
important.
And like my
Extremely.
grandpa,
Dude,
my grandpa, he never
That's huge.
left. The only time he left Deloge was
Walmart.
when he went to my dad's wedding in Kansas City. That was the only time he'd ever left that part of Missouri. You know, my dad, he's still around there. I'm not saying these are guys who you have these opinions,
Right.
but you just realize like, you know, people are in these bubbles.
Listen, man.
And then
It's
you
hard
put them
not-
all into a universal
Yeah.
platform, and it's just fucking people going at each other's throat all the
But
time.
it's hard not to, and I hate to feel like I'm giving them excuses, but it's hard not to have that opinion when you're in a town where you're seeing the same people all the time. You're just passing that same opinion back and forth.
Right.
When you went to, like, I've been, obviously, like you guys have traveled a lot, and you start to realize, oh, this person who I was told was the enemy just wants the same thing out of their life that I want out of mine. Do you know what I mean? I want to raise my
Absolutely.
family. I want to live in a safe neighborhood. I want to have some fun. I want to have a good job. You know, I want to watch my kids grow. And how can I do that? And that's it. Like, how many in your town when you grew up? How many gay guys?
I mean, none that I know of. I mean,
Right.
one that I'm thinking of now that eventually came out, but none really that I know of. Like
And
you
then
could.
one other.
Ooh.
He hasn't yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the next read. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
That's the next read.
But
That's a huge thing to bring up too. Is that people?
Yeah, like
If
there
you're
just
in the
wasn't.
same town, doing the same thing, bouncing around the same opinions. That is, I grew up in a small town too, and it literally is the same exact thing.
Yes.
Then people that don't leave, you go back, and it's like,
they're still bouncing around the same opinions.
yes, and then you go back, and I can literally tell you verbatim what they're going to say about this political stance or
Yeah.
that, and they go, and I sit there and I listen to them like, yeah, well, you know,
Yeah, it's just
You read the room
like,
and understand, like, if you can have enough empathy to get in the conversation, or just be like, there's no, like, I just need to.
oh, I just get quiet.
Just is what it
I
is.
used to try to say something, but now I literally just like, all right,
you guys
whatever.
are in a locker room with people from every different walk, from growing
Bro,
up from
everywhere.
Right.
So and you have to take into account how other people grow up. But at the end of the day, here's the deal: just people who want to have a life like everyone else.
Right.
Yeah, you have to travel. I think you have to.
It's
travel.
important to do for sure.
We're lucky 'cause-
especially like even if it's just the same country.
Yes.
Go as far in one direction
Yes.
as possible,
Yeah.
and then go the other way. You know what I'm saying? Because
No
you're gonna
doubt.
see.
You know, I tell people all the time when I'm on stage, like, and I obviously I perform in red states and blue states, and I'll always get, especially now, there's always somebody who's going to say something snide on whatever side. And what I say all the time is, hey, I know you guys think that California or Alabama or whatever are real different, but from where I'm standing, all of you look exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah.
I know you all think you're different. We're California or we're Alabama.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, you're all exactly the same.
Do you notice a difference in laughs? Do you know what joke? Do you see how jokes hit differently in certain areas?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I used to
That's
more.
we could see that for sure.
For me, used to more, because when people didn't know who I was as much, it was more of a random crowd. So now the people who are coming to see me,
They're fans.
they get it.
Yeah.
But there were some states that I would tell my weed jokes, and they were just like,
We don't do that here.
"Ooh, no." And
Not-
I remember taking an
not
edible
here,
on
man.
stage.
Yeah, not here, man.
Not here,
Do
man.
that, not that shit.
But I would take an edible on stage, and some places the manager would tell me after, "Don't do that ever again."
Really?
I'm like, "Yeah," and he goes, "First of all, I don't condone that, but second of all, you could get walked out of here cuffed. Like, we can't have that shit."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, if the cops come, it'll be the best thing that ever happened in my career. So I'm gonna keep doing it." Yeah, oh yeah.
Were you invited back?
Yeah, man.
No
Listen,
question,
you
that's
put money in
cool.
their pocket, they don't give a
Really?
shit what you do. They don't give a
Isn't that weird? How
And you don't
money
think to
rules
yourself, hey, we're
all?
not going to come back here.
Well,
but
are
you're
some
just thinking,
clubs-
like-
there are some clubs I will never go back to.
You personally, you make the choice not to go.
Never go back.
Can we say who?
No, that's not my thing.
You're not a vicious person.
That's not my thing.
Person. That's a new word.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Here's what it is. If your club is questionable for me, and you don't have a bathroom in the green room, so I have to walk through the audience to take a shit, I'm probably not going to go back.
Oh, really?
I can't shit in the general pop bathroom because people are knocking on the door. They watch me walk in, and they're like, "You shitting in there?" I'm like, obviously, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Doors closed for a reason,
yeah,
buddy.
can you? And when people are asking questions, you gonna do that joke tonight, that bachelor party joke? I'm like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like,
When you just sit down, sit down and you hear the door getting messed with, and you're like, God damn it.
man.
Dude, you gotta say occupied. Yeah. All uncomfortable.
In here.
Tell me, is there a worse feeling than sitting down on a public toilet seat that's warm? Isn't
God,
that
no.
one for me is like, oh,
You know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate. I think it's kind of nice.
A hot take. Your Missouri is showing. Yeah, your Missouri is definitely
poking
showing right now.
When you walk in after somebody, and if they cleaned up the toilet, like I hate walking in and somebody's either got drips on the fucking stool or something that
The toilet paper's
you can
wound
kind of
down
see
and
like where
touching
the,
the
where the crack is kind of sweated on it or something like
Sure.
that. You know, maybe a couple pube hairs on there or
Pubes.
something. Yeah.
How do the pubes
it's
get
just
off?
disgusting,
Do you bald?
bro.
Do people bald in the pubic region?
no,
I don't think they
No,
do.
like on the crack if you have a hairy crack.
Yeah.
Like your ass crack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those hairs fall out?
Yeah.
You've
they
never left
can.
a hair on a seat?
I don't. Well, I'm not big on
He's got a clean
checking.
tush.
You don't check?
He's got a clean tush. But
I
like
check
me,
my
when,
wipes.
when I
Check
get
your wipes.
Yeah, I check my wipes, but I've never seen a hair in it.
But when
ever.
you flush, you don't turn around. Like I'll sit there and just wipe because whoever's next, I don't. I hate that dude. But when I
You're
walk
really-
in,
let's hold on. You go
You
ahead.
don't check your shit? You don't look at
oh,
it?
he's affected by that.
Now look at my shit or look at what I've wiped. Because I look
Both.
at what I wiped, obviously.
But you don't look at your poop after you poop?
Depends on the poop. Now, if it's something that I'm grunting going through and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, wow,
Little sweat.
some people go through this.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like that's when I'll look back and be like, holy shit,
But if it feels
Or I'll look at it and be
average-
like, it's not.
but if
not
it's
as much as I
routine,
thought
you
it would
don't
be."
you don't look.
No.
Do you look?
Wow. Oh yeah, I
Every time.
check
I look
everything.
every time.
Yeah,
I check everything.
Will and I don't see eye to eye a lot when
Not
it comes
brown
to
eye.
toilets.
Yeah,
Brown
when
eye.
it comes to our when it comes to our
What was the
shitting
website?
etiquette,
What was the website? Brown and thick. What was it called?
brown and round.
Brown and round.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, our etiquette is a
Sorry,
little
my poops,
different.
dude. Let's go.
But I'll clean it down because I hate when I see anything like that. But if the toilet is still well maintained and I sit down, I don't know if he took a shit or not, but when I sit down and there's a little bit of warmth, I'm like, this is kind of nice.
But what else is he doing? He's not taking a shit? Sitting down on the toilet?
Well, I'm saying I could have came in after him and he just peed or
Oh,
something.
right.
But I'll know if he shit because I sit down.
I don't
and it's
know
a little
anybody
warm.
that sits down to pee in a Gen Pop bathroom.
You don't?
No.
I thought
By
you.
the way,
I thought you
I
were
sit down to
big.
pee a lot.
That's what I'm saying. You
Oh,
don't.
you do?
You don't in
Oh,
a
and
gym
the-
pop.
like in the mornings when I just wake up, oh, absolutely. I can't. My legs can't.
But
handle it.
you're aiming.
Really?
You're
I'll
aiming
lay-
from a lot higher up than I am.
I'll sit
You know what
down.
I mean?
Well, it's a lot, and it kind of spread goes like this. It's so tiny.
Big pee guy. I dribble a lot in the morning.
Well, you've had since 30. You've had some issues.
Yeah, since 30, I've had.
Yeah.
like,
You've been a dribbler since 30?
Not like a dribbler, but
We have an ad, Roman. We have a Roman for that.
the slight stream like stays. Like I'll be in there and I'll just start giggling because I know Charo can hear it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I've been peeing for like fucking 2 minutes.
I will tell you, at my age, when I put these pants on, these particular pants,
No underwear.
I have to think to myself, all right, I'm probably going to have to not pee for a little while.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be some extra that comes out. But these pants comes through. Jeans, no problem. But these pants, I got to plan my pees.
It's the light colored non denim.
There's
You need a
little bit
yeah.
little dribble.
Not
I'm
yeah,
not a big
like-
underwear guy at all. And so
Ever.
when I have the lighter colored pants on,
That's so
I'll
interesting
literally take
to
a little
me.
napkin and I'll dab the head.
I don't
You
like
never
the way
like
it feels.
chafe.
No.
We got the thighs. You know what I mean? Like my
Wait.
thighs will kind of rub to where I'll chafe a little bit, and I need my underwear.
I don't know if
Really?
you've seen
Lululemon?
these massive legs.
Those things are.
These don't
Hey,
chafe
we're
as
right
much.
on par
Yeah.
with each other.
we need the MeUndies. We need MeUndies. I'll sell out for some MeUndies.
Oh, you know what else? Mac Weldons. Those underwear.
Mac Weldon.
Great underwear.
No free shoutouts.
The best.
Lululemon's pretty good.
Are they comfortable?
Lululemon's
They're
a little tight in
very
the hips.
comfortable.
A little tight in the hips for me. I don't like that.
Where they squeeze a little bit around the waist.
in the back. And you're like, what's going on?
I don't think too much because I'm big on that too because you get a little muffin top.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of nice. They're kind of I think elastic, enough.
Supportive, but not
Yeah.
restricting.
Yeah.
Does your girl
yeah.
like them?
Yeah, she likes them.
She likes them.
Yeah.
Doesn't Lululemon not have the little? We can like, you know what I'm saying? There's the pouch and then.
Oh no, I don't use it. Is that what you use when you pee?
Oh, I'm like the Chappelle skit. Dude. I just like to poke my piece through the hole, the little, and I kind of just.
That's
Yo,
what you
we're
do. That's
so
what it's-
different in the bathroom.
But that's the
I've
way you're
never
supposed to
used
do,
that.
right?
Really?
Oh, no, I do the whole too.
Hey,
I
remember-
push my underwear or my briefs down and I take a
Remember,
little stroll.
remember when you were in elementary school and like you'd walk in and the kid would have his pants on his
Pants on,
ankle?
yeah,
You're just like kind of like real uncomfortable. Like, oh, that's a butt. That's a butt.
Oh, you know what we
Hey,
always
or the-
did? We
or
always
the-
just push their ass right into it.
Really?
We were always like, what do you do? Pull out your pants,
Yeah.
weirdo.
You guys would. You people would, dude. Not the Jewish thing, just because you're old. Because you're old. It's not the Jewish thing. God damn. Oh, I'm over here. I'm on a balancing beam right now, dude.
It's so crazy.
We had a blind kid that would
Every
do it with the pants down.
other-
they wouldn't.
yeah.
Swear to God. And you would step in and you'd kind of like,
Did you,
You know.
in high school?
Need help? Everything going all right?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now because I can see it doesn't look great.
Oh,
Our high school basketball team, we played a deaf team. Did you guys ever play like a deaf school or anything like that in your sports?
no, I don't think
No.
so.
We played a deaf basketball team, and it was
what was your school?
it was fascinating. I grew up in Massachusetts. It was fascinating because they obviously played through the whistle.
Right.
And so you know what I mean, and so you know what I'm saying. They so they had to wait for you know what I mean. Like we would stop at the whistle,
Yeah.
and then our coach.
God damn it, man! You gotta tap them twice
But
to stop.
and they played through the whistle because other teams would stop when there was no whistle
And then they would,
and take the ball right. So they played through the whistle.
God.
Hey, but yeah, but I can't. I mean, watching a blind guy pee, I can't.
Yeah, but hey man, it's a sink. You're
Yeah,
over here.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, this is you're still in the
Dude.
classroom. You know that, right? This is the desk. So
Oh, God.
I think he's rubbed off on me into like.
This is tough. This is
But
tough.
you know
I want to go back to the you people thing. I meant because you're old. Right? I don't know if there was laughter going on.
the best thing about being a comic for me is just this: is that I honestly like if I think of anything, I'm a pretty tame. I might poke around a little bit, but like most people in most jobs just feel so constricted as what they're allowed to say, even in jokes. Even in like when you say you people, it didn't even make me. it's already in context, right? We've already been joking about it.
Yeah.
So for you to joke with me back about it seems like what we're supposed to do.
Right.
And one of the reasons that I do it, especially with Jew stuff, is I don't look. You obviously shouldn't be walking down on the street being like, Jew. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but I want you to feel. Do you know what I'm saying?
Unless we refer to Jimmy Eat World.
He's
but
Jewish.
Absolutely.
He's Jewish.
But like for
Goddamn.
for this conversation,
Yeah.
I feel okay with people being comfortable enough to joke with me, because that's how I grew up, man. I grew up. If you didn't make fun of me, we didn't like each other.
That's a lot how my friendships are good when I'm almost verbally abusive
Yes.
to them. You know?
Yes. Look, you
He's probably one of the most disrespectful people I've ever met.
but you know who you don't.
There's
joke
so many
around
people I
with?
have to pull aside and be
you
like,
don't
hey,
like.
he
People
look-
I'm uncomfortable with too.
Yeah.
If I don't really, all right.
Yeah,
I have
you
to
look
pull.
great.
Hey, I have to
Yeah,
pull a
yeah.
lot
How's
of
your
people to
day?
the side.
Wonderful. Weather's amazing.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, see you later.
Yeah.
But if we can
That's
fuck
very
around
true.
with each other,
You know, too, I think like we would agree with that. It's like when you sit here and you do all these kinds of jokes and you do all these different things, like we also like live in a certain world where you just know people are out for certain headlines and
Sure.
stuff, because when you're playing football, you're playing a sport, like you just know there's just journalists and stuff that's trying to create waves out there. So, you know, I feel like that it comes from a place of being nervous like that for that as well.
well, there are people for sure who want to find somebody to cancel, like almost like a badge of honor.
want to see you fail.
They just want. I
I think a lot more people are like that than not.
I agree.
You
Like
see,
what?
well, if you live your life in mediocrity and you see somebody excelling, the last thing that makes you feel bad about yourself because you're living in mediocrity.
Yeah.
You're doing you're doing the basics, you're doing the bare minimum, and then you see somebody doing great. It's like, well, why? Well, fuck him. Why is he doing so great? Let me find something, you know. And then when something bad about that person comes out, goes, see,
See,
I knew
told
it.
you.
I knew it. You know.
Yeah.
Not only
Yeah,
that,
that's
like,
interesting.
especially with athletes, dudes with athletes, because most guys grew up. Or
You're
lot of
playing a
guys
sport.
wanted to play sports, wanting to play a game, play this game that I love for a living, and so to watch somebody else do it, and then it makes me laugh. Be like, that dude's a scrub. I'm like, he's at 1% of the people who
Right.
ever put cleats on. You scrub. Like, have you ever watched online people playing? You know Brian Scalabrine, the basketball player.
Yeah, he's killing people right now.
So Brian Scalabrine, red hair, 6'8", 6'9", looks like the
House.
most unathletic person of all time.
He used to play, right?
He played 10 years in the league.
Okay, I know you're talking about now.
10 years in the league, and there are just people challenging him all the time. Scrub, he's the 12th man on an NBA bench. He could beat anybody.
He plays guys one-on-one, I think.
And
And crush
dummies them, yeah.
Crush. Have you seen some of these?
Yeah,
Oh, he look, he's calling out a NBA player. He's right. He thinks he's gonna beat this dude, and he just
Calls out NBA legend. I love that.
he wrecks people. So they're playing for the shoes. Look at Scalabrine. You know this kid's like, oh, I'm gonna look at this fat redheaded. Oh, did I just block your shot?
He's just casually playing too.
Yeah. Oh, did I body you up? Are you tiny boy? I mean, look.
This is wild. Oh,
It's not. And this guy is not. Does he look like he's
he's
trying?
chilling.
Does he look?
Yeah,
like
like he's just casually
right now.
chilling.
You know what would have been great if he had just not even laced up his shoes. He started
That'd
to get
been
hot.
awesome.
It's over.
I know it. It's
NBA
always interesting.
Elite athlete. I mean, forget the way he looks. Elite athlete. 11-0.
Oh my god!
But-
Basketball is one of the coolest sports to be good at too,
Yes.
because you can do it anywhere. You can pull up anywhere and just be dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
That's
I
badass.
know, right?
Football, I'd be like, all right, let me, I guess, warm up. See you in 3 weeks. Let me get my shit
like
ready.
as a linebacker, when you're like getting older, there's not running backs who are good.
Second best sport.
I'll say it was growing up was probably baseball.
And did you?
Baseball,
And what position did you play in baseball?
first base, center field.
I played center field too.
Yeah.
Hey, center.
Did you?
Center boys.
Oh,
yeah.
the boys.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Nice work,
played
fellas.
Very small college baseball.
Did you?
You know the type of school where Division I, everybody's a 5 tool, and
Mm-hmm.
the school I went to, everybody was a 3 tool. We had 3 of them, but nobody had 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like the guys playing first base on my team, I'm sure you grew up with these guys. He was like 5'10", built like a fire hydrant, and he had the quickest hands in the world. Ging, 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 could hit anything, but he couldn't run from home plate to second. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He couldn't do it.
And when he was playing first, don't throw it in the dirt because he couldn't bend over.
Yeah, we
Really?
called him Maytag.
Exactly.
He would run the bases. Eli Skaggs, shout out the boy
Yeah.
Eli. But they'd yell Maytag, come on Maytag, because he'd run like he had a fridge on his back.
But he could hit.
He
right?
could he could
I
do
like
all
that.
of it,
Yeah,
bro.
but just couldn't
hit,
run.
pitch, and first base.
Yeah, but couldn't bend over to scoop.
Yeah.
And couldn't run. Yeah, man. So for me, I could run. I could, if you, in the outfield, I was going to chase it down. If it was in the air, I was going to go get it.
Yeah.
I couldn't throw. I could not throw. At the time, I had a crazy mullet.
Just always a crazy
Second reference on the
I had
mullet.
a crazy mullet.
You spent
At
a
the
long time in your
time,
life with the mullet. How old were you then?
I was in college, so I was 20.
So 15. 15 is when I heard about the first mullet, and this
then-
kind of stayed.
Oh, listen, I'm no quitter.
And they had a boy.
Yeah, and this, oh man, the best heckle I ever heard. He got my coach. My coach was a guy named, what was his first name? Damn it. Coach Brown. Anyways, he played at USC with Jack Del Rio as a linebacker, but he also played in the Dodgers farm system with Piazza. This dude was a stud, but he was ahead of Piazza, but he got in a car accident and crushed both of his feet and never played again. So he was a little heavier. And we were playing once. You know, baseball, to me, the baseball bench is the funniest bench. Sitting down on those benches, you went in between innings. Like, this is the funniest.
It's a good time.
Guys
dude.
killing dudes.
It's
God,
a good, right?
good time.
But my coach starts to me, and he limps a little bit because of his feet, and he's ended up being a big dude. And somebody from the heckle from the other bench he's walking up to the mound, and you just hear from the other bench, "Hey, sit down, coach. Your fries aren't ready yet."
Oh. And that's tough.
Yo,
What did he do?
Our whole bench was like, "Oh no! Like, how are we gonna look at this dude when
Get
he comes
uncomfortable.
back?"
Can I pull your... You good? Can I smile? Hey. Wanna talk about
Coach,
it?
don't listen to him.
Our pitcher put his face in his glove like this.
No way.
Because he's walking out to talk to him. It was, but that whole series, that it was an away series, that their fans called me Cher because my hair was super, like,
Beautiful.
oh, flowy and beautiful.
Outstanding. Why don't you
Yeah.
bring it back?
I think
You could have one right now.
My wife is not 100% on board for that. I think I'm gonna try for the pubes first before
Yeah.
the mullet.
Sure.
Let us know how that goes. Man the fuck up.
Oh, I will. I'll take a picture. I'll tuck and take a picture.
Absolutely. Or
Yeah.
don't. Or don't talk. Whatever you want.
I'll
We're not there for the dick. We're there for the pubes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're looking past the dick.
Like,
anyways.
like the screen door. Just looking through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just look past that whole
I'll
thing.
throw it out for you. You got it.
Well, good deal.
Hey, this has been a blast.
Yeah. Listen, are you guys gonna on June 3rd here in Nashville?
Mm-hmm.
That show you saw?
Yeah.
So I'm recording my very first comedy music special.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be like usually on the
You're
road.
doing it at Zany's?
At Zany's, June 3rd.
Oh, wow.
So tickets are already flying if you guys want to come. Obviously, you guys are listening. June 3rd, 2 shows that night. Going to have crazy special guests coming down. But, like, it is going to be, you know how crazy that show is? It's a lot of moving parts, a lot of improv, a lot of just people jumping on
yeah.
stage. It's a good time. But it's
June 3rd.
the very first,
June
my very
3rd,
first
Zany's.
comedy music special. 2 shows, 1 night only. Those tickets will go fast. So, Zany's
He
Nashville.com.
takes he has somebody random that they'll give 5 minutes to,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll do 5-minute jokes. That kid with the oversized suit, he
How
was
funny
pretty
is he?
funny.
Yeah.
He was solid actually.
Yeah.
But they give him 5
Did
minutes.
the kid know that he was going to have 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Yes.
they give him 5 minutes. He goes out, they tell his jokes, and whether he bombs or not, they're his jokes. And then they come out later and they basically walk him through the same set of jokes, making fun of him, like chirping him. It's funny.
Oh,
Wait,
shit.
So what happens
making
is
him feel good and comfortable.
he does his 5 minutes. Me and 2 other comics take him backstage. We rewrite his act.
Uh-huh.
We put new jokes in there. And then we send him back on stage to do his set. But if he fucks up the jokes, we're behind him.
Oh, so you murder him.
No,
Or help him. Like, they do both. They
in
facilitate,
a kind
yeah.
way, right? We're laughing with him, but like I always tell them, I'm like, this is the hardest gig set. Not only is this your first set, but now 3 professional comics are going to rewrite your act. You're going to have to remember those new jokes, stand back in front of that crowd, and we're going to be behind you. No pressure. But it is so damn fun, man.
It's fun, but that
Are you going to
they
do
were
it?
asking no. They were
Yeah,
like,
that
I told
night when you were
Taylor, I
drunk,
said,
he did say-
like if I'm loopy and stuff,
Yeah.
like I would think about it, but I was asked right when I got in there.
Which one of these guys? Would either one of them do it?
I don't
I
think
don't know,
so.
would they?
Would you guys do
I'm
it?
not sure.
5 minutes is a long time.
But like they said something, I was like, oh hell no,
Yeah.
shelled up right away. Like They opened the door and you looked at the stage and you saw the light and you're just like, fuck no, you can't do that. People are like, why not? It's just like, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like, we're on a bus. No one's around us. We're not performing in front of people.
Yeah.
And we get to kind of do our own thing.
Right.
Because they want us to do Bussin' with the Boys. They want us to do like a podcast show, a live show over there.
Oh yeah, we'd bomb.
I think it'd be fun though if we had a comedian.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should.
Remember when we said between two athletes?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Instead of between two ferns.
Yeah.
You picked that up. I like that.
Yeah.
Very, very quick.
You could have like Cam or Callan or somebody sitting and kind of do it with us.
Yeah,
I think it'd be cool.
I've just
But
seen the
not
show.
like I wouldn't do it. I missed the laugh. I missed the joke.
You'll get it in 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
but
you start
man,
laughing?
I think it'd be fun if either one of you guys wanted to do it. It's
I figured Taylor would be good at it because I
I
texted
don't,
Taylor about it. He's like, oh, I don't think I'd do it either.
I think
I
Without
he'd
any
be good.
preparation, no.
Did Joey do it?
Jelly.
Yeah.
Jelly's doing it.
Jelly was pretty funny, dude.
Jelly is
was
funny.
on stage and he was funny.
He's not doing it this time. He's going to do it next time. So this time we already got somebody who's coming down, and this is when I know it's going to be good. When they're overconfident, I'm like, oh, you're going to eat dicks.
Eat
I
dicks,
can't
dude.
wait to see you eat dicks.
God, that's an appetizer at Zany's.
Oh yeah,
God.
fork and knife.
That's gotta,
yeah.
that has got to be the hardest thing to get over. Is like I'm gonna bomb in front of these people probably.
Yeah,
And I
that's
gotta
probably
get
the
over
hardest.
that
Yes,
now.
that is the thing to get over.
What was like when you first bombed? Well, I know we got to go. I know we're this podcast is done,
it's
but
gonna
I want to
go well.
hear.
Well, I will tell you, if you're not okay with bombing, don't become a comic.
Yeah.
That's it. Like the first time I bombed, dude, I bombed so okay. My first 3 times doing stand up, I'm like, this stand up shit is easy. I'm crushing.
Yeah.
And then the 4th time, I won a comedy competition. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready. And so I was in San Antonio, Texas at the time, going to college, and I got a phone call, and it was like, hey, you won that comedy competition last night. This was '93. Do you want to open for Sam Kinison? And I was like, now, do you guys know who Sam
No.
Kinison
Yes.
is?
No,
I'm going to tell you something. Sam Kinison is the first comic I ever watched, and I thought, are we allowed to say shit like this? Sam Kinison said things, and his for me, my comedy hero. That's my guy.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys.
And it was the first guy.
First guy where I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And he was a rock and roll comic. He played in rock and roll venues. He played in he had a band come up and played Wild Thing, and he played guitar, crushed it. And his fans were rock and rollers. And his opener's dad had gotten sick and had to peel off the tour. And he was like, hey, send the dude who won the comedy competition. So I was like, cool. I had at least 3.5, 4 minutes of material.
Mm-hmm.
When I got there, they're like, so just do like 25. And I'm like, no, this is like the 5th time.
I'm uncomfortable right now.
This is the 5th time I was ever on stage.
Yeah.
Now, I was a little fashion-wise confused back then. So
The mullet.
No
We've
mullet,
heard.
ponytail.
Yeah, okay.
Ponytail. Maybe, I'm not going to say I had bangs, but I did not have bangs.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't good, man.
Was it the similar outfit as your first stand up?
Pretty similar,
God.
but with a leather jacket
Yeah.
and ponytail. And so I start to walk on stage. Let me tell you how bad it got. So I had maybe 4 minutes of material, but when I was that nervous, that turned into 2 minutes,
Right.
which I was done with in a minute. And they were done heckling me by 5 minutes, and had just started talking to each other. They had already said everything they wanted to say to me, and they had just started
That's
talking
so
to each other.
uncomfortable.
They didn't even have 25 minutes.
They didn't have 20. So you know what I started doing? Because people, you really show up to see the headliner.
Yeah.
So people were trickling in. I did my act 3 times. I just did it. I go, you guys didn't hear those first couple jokes, and I would just repeat them.
Really?
Oh, I didn't have
And
any.
would they laugh?
No.
What was it like
my
driving home laying
God.
in bed that night?
Wait, I forgot to tell you that when I walked off stage, I didn't know we were doing 2 shows.
So were they like, hey, we'll see you later?
No. Even worse. His manager said to me, because Sam at the time, Sam had some drug and alcohol issues. So second show, unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
So in between shows, he was like, hey, I may need you to stretch a little bit. And I go, did you not watch the first show?
Holy shit.
And he goes, no, I watched it. It was great. And I was thinking, no, yeah, you didn't watch that.
You didn't
I
watch
You
didn't.
it.
definitely watched
need you
that.
to stretch
So he
it.
was like, if you need to stretch. And I turned over to him at 20 and he was doing this. And this is how bad it was going.
When you say you turned over to him, like you looked over and
side of
he's
the
like,
stage.
He like stopped. There's a long pause, and he's just like, I don't know what else.
Yeah, he was
looks
just
over
like,
at me,
he was
"Oh,
good."
girl, you're doing great.
I looked at my girlfriend at the time who had driven me, and I literally just started talking to her. I was like, they're not listening. She was like, keep going, you're doing great. I'm like, yeah, but I'm just telling the jokes to you. She was like, that's all right. I was having a full-on conversation.
no way.
It was brutal. But I'm going to tell you something. That's the hardest I ever bombed. My reaction when I was driving home, because she said to me, well, you got that out of your system. You got that out of your system. And you got to open for Kinnison. And this is a great story. And I told her straight up, hey, I'm not going out like that. I was like, you think that's how even if I don't do this forever, that's not the last time I'm going on stage.
Right.
I'm not ending my career on getting knocked out. I'm ending on a knockout, if anything.
Yeah.
So for me, that was motivation to go, fuck you.
Oh, she was saying like,
Yeah, I was like, but I was thinking,
I was saying, like, that's all
the
good, you
people in
got it
that
out of your
crowd,
system.
you don't get to do that to me. You don't dictate when I'm done.
Right.
I'll tell you when I'm done.
I like that.
But you're not fucking chasing me off the stage. And so when the next time I went on stage was a couple years later.
2 years.
Had to take a hiatus.
Yeah,
Found shrooms, found gummies, found
but
joints.
I was like, no.
Like
if
Tim
I'm going to do
Tebow.
this,
Yeah.
it's going to be way hard. This is harder than I thought. I can't just roll out of bed out of my college dorm and go do it. I'm going to have to put some time in. That's when I realized
right.
I'm going to shelf it for the rest of college, but I'm coming back and this is what I'm doing.
Right.
Because like, I don't know about you guys, but one thing for me is you don't get to dictate how I act. That's
Yeah,
a
that
huge
is-
thing for me. You don't get to tell me when I'm done. You don't get to tell me how I feel. None of that shit.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when you're in high school and you're kind of like acting up a little bit and a girl goes, hey, you're done.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, I will fucking tell you when I'm done. I
Yeah.
swear to God.
It's like telling a girl. It's like telling a girl, hey, calm down.
Hey, calm
Yeah,
down.
relax,
Dude,
yeah.
oh, that shit pisses me off so much. When you're done. It's like, well, I'm not. Obviously not.
Now I'm not.
I will say when I'll literally say fin when I'm done.
The
How's
volume
that
goes
sound?
up.
Let me tell you. This is my favorite Chappelle story.
I cannot wait.
We were at the Comedy Store, and he does, look, man, you're Dave Chappelle. You go on stage for as long as you fucking want.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this, man, if he does really, really long sets, he's generally super respectful and goes on late or goes upstairs to the belly room.
Mm-hmm.
He's not bumping entire lineups. He's a respectful dude. But by the way, if he wanted to go on and do 3 hours, everyone would be like, yeah, that's Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can bump me anytime you want.
Now, would it be a faux pas for someone to say, no, you're not going to bump me?
Okay, ready?
Okay. Yes.
So he's doing a set and he's gone a little longer, but not anything that anybody would complain about. Comics, especially audience. You saying we get to watch Chappelle for 45 minutes for $15? Yeah. Along with Rogan and every other stud that's down
The
there.
headlining guys going one
Not
after
just
another.
headlining guys, the guys.
Yeah.
People who are selling out arena guys.
Yeah.
Right? So, and this club is lucky enough, they want to do some extra time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, Rogan, super respectful of the light. 20 minutes, yeah, cool. Maybe a couple extra, but yeah, I'm done. I know there are other people. Right? So Chappelle does a little extra, but he's putting his jacket on, which you can tell he stood up, puts his jacket on, puts the mic back in the stand. And I'm not going to say who, because there's a chance that this dude will be listening to this podcast.
All right. Love that.
But
Oh, he's a fan.
somebody
Tier 1.
who had some say-so at the Comedy Store said, hey, Dave. Dave recognized the voice and goes, yeah, so-and-so? He's like, how long are you going to be up there, man? We know you're killing it, but, you know, there are other comics back here. We got a full...
Oh,
lineup."
shit.
He took his jacket off.
The goat.
He took his jacket
Bro.
off. He hung it back up on the mic stand. And he said, I'll have a shot and a beer. He lit a cigarette and he screamed back. He goes, have any of those motherfuckers been doing comedy for 30 years? Tell them to wait. And he sat back down.
God.
Now he was getting off stage. But once again, you don't get to tell me. You don't tell that dude. You don't tell that dude when he gets off stage.
Right.
100%.
He knows who he is. He knows people are there but he's also so respectful of other comics. You ask any comic, like about Chappelle, they're like, dude, he genuinely loves comedians. He loves comics.
It seems like a tight-knit community.
Dude, it's a lot of that. so much of that is because of Joe. Mm-hmm. You know,
Why do you think that is? Because of Joe?
a lot of it is just because his podcast is so massive, and he had people on there and comics, and his love of comedy and comedians, it was infectious, and the people he brought on represented our jobs so well, and they were super funny, and it was such a huge platform that, do you know what I mean? It's going on Rogan is like, if you talk to any of those older dudes, Ray Romano, Jerry Seinfeld, what was it like? And he was like, going on Carson was like a career. It made your career.
Really?
You did a set on the Tonight Show with Carson. That was your career. Rogan can make careers, but he loves comics. You hear him talk about comics.
Oh, he loves them.
Right? And so
it's what he like. It's like his number one passion.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like so if you meet a football player who you've never met before, but there is some things you know about that person. You know what he's gone through. You know what he's had to do. You know the two-a-days. You know some things inherently about that person. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing with comics.
The tough thing about that is like there's no football player that's gonna make your career. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no one I can go and say like, hey, make
Big
me
shout
more
out to you
appealing the
guys.
public. It's not
If
gonna,
you enjoyed this episode,
it just can't happen. You know,
and
you have to make your
love
own
and
way in that
support
sense.
Bussin' with the Boys.
You know, Chelsea did that.
Go to whatever
The Chelsea
podcast
Handle.
platform
Yeah.
you're on and
So
subscribe
pre-Joe,
to us. Leave
Chelsea
a review, rate
introduced
5
comedy
stars. If you're already
to an
subscribed,
audience that had never
unsubscribe and
seen comedy.
resubscribe again.
So
it
when
helps
I
the
was
boys
selling
climb the
tickets off of
charts.
that show,
And again, we
it was a bunch of
we
people who'd
wouldn't
never
be
been to
doing
comedy
this and can't do this
So
without
it was
you guys
different.
and all of
Rogan
your
fans,
support.
those
We
are-
also have a
those are
YouTube
comedy
channel
nerds.
if you like.
Those are
If you'd
comedy
like to
people who
watch
know
our
comedy.
show,
It seems like so
or
many
these
genres.
episodes,
It
they're
seems
on
like because
YouTube at
he is
Bussin' with the
into,
Boys.
let's
We're
say,
also on
5
social media at
specific
Bussin'
things.
WTB.
But he
You can
has
follow us
such a
everywhere.
huge following
Go
in
buy our
all
merch.
5
You
of
guys
those
know that
things.
whole
Yeah, I
deal.
mean, he is
But
massive.
thank you
You
so
go
much.
on-
We are
He can
forever
speak
grateful for you.
intelligently
The
Right.
biggest
He
of hugs
definitely
and tiniest
does a
of
great job of
kisses
regurgitating
for the
things.
boys,
Yeah.
always and forever.
He sounds like he's a genius at everything. He sounds like he's got everything dialed
And
in.
he keeps such an open mind too. Like he's so flexible. Like if he hears another perspective that he can get on, like get on board with and talk through. Like
I wonder how
he's
he got
very
to
good
that
at
point.
because he's not pigeonholed in certain.
Listen, he wasn't always. When I met him, he was not. Not only did he not smoke weed, he was anti-weed.
Really?
He did not. If I remember, this was years ago, but if I remember correctly, he didn't want you doing it around him, and that's obviously changed. Yeah, he's a dude. For a guy to be that successful and that smart, you could really just be like, "These are my views,"
Pete
You know
David.
what I mean?
Yeah.
and just dig in and be like, I don't need to learn anymore."
Being flexible. I wonder who put him on.
The thing that I like the most about him is how curious he is.
Yeah,
So-
he's got a thirst for knowledge.
Yeah.
That thirst for knowledge never seems to be quenched, and to me, that's the most fascinating thing about this dude, who could just sit back and rest. $100 million. I'm selling out whatever I want to sell out for comedy. I get to do my dream jobs: the podcast, sit front row UFC, and do stand up. I don't need to be open minded to any of you motherfuckers.
Right.
Yet he is. Yet he stays curious. Yet he's. I know there are some people who would argue he's not open minded.
Well, they just don't listen to his stuff.
I don't know. That's
Like every other,
pretty- whoever says
every,
that's way far one way or the
Yes,
other.
yeah,
every
He's
other week on
extremely
Twitter,
open-minded.
they're trying to cancel him. But it's crazy
Yeah,
because he's so
Spotify
massive. Like
employees
you
said
just
they didn't want him on or something like that.
Come
I don't.
on, man.
I don't.
you
understand
just
that at
see
all.
like different. You just understand who listens to him and who doesn't.
Dude, to
Because when
stay-
somebody's like, "Oh, he's blah blah," and you're just like, you clearly don't listen to
To
his
stay
show.
curious means he's still hungry to learn.
Yeah.
Yo, at his age with his money, that is far and away my absolute favorite thing about him, because that's for me. I never want to stop being curious. I never
Yeah.
want to stop being hungry. I never want to stop learning, because then what?
Then you die.
Then you die.
Right.
Yeah. Then it's over.
Then you go one eye.
Then you go one-eyed winky.
Yeah, and you can always like learn something from everybody you come across. No matter if you like vibe with them or not, there's always something to kind of like.
Every show, one of the things that I'll go on stage with something and be like, I'm gonna try this tonight. I'm gonna see if this works. I want to if this works, I'm gonna try to it's not always a joke. Sometimes it's the way I stand. Sometimes it's my pacing. Sometimes it's sitting down as opposed to standing up.
So everything's calculated in your set.
No, but I'll try one thing.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, so for these 15 minutes, I'm gonna sit and let's just see what happens.
Sounds pretty calculated to me. So when you
But
say
I
you
don't
try
know-
new things, I'm saying calculated in the sense that when you go up there, you have a plan.
No,
You're- okay,
not
you
what I'm
don't.
gonna say.
Oh, really?
Most of the time, I'll have like 30 minutes of I go like that story that when you heard
The cookie?
Cookie. I haven't figured out how to tell it on stage yet. the whole story yet. Mm-hmm. And so I do it differently. Like if I haven't figured it out yet, I'll pepper it in on a podcast. I'll do it maybe 1 or 2 times a weekend until I kind of like feel like, oh yeah, this is the right lane. Mm-hmm. But when I stand on stage, if I stand on stage and I start to talk to somebody in the crowd and they say something that sparks a joke that I'm working on that I didn't think that I was going to do, I'll go. I don't fight the flow, man. Live or on stage. Let's see where this is. I'm not swimming upstream. Look at these legs. They're not swimming upstream.
Those are swimmer's legs. They're not scrawny. They're nice. Those are nice.
These are, by the way, these are the palest legs.
Let's have a peek.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
wait. No. I was just in Florida. They're not
He
as
just
pale.
came up out of his phone. No, don't do it.
Those are
Oh my
pretty
god,
white.
dude.
They're not that bad.
They're translucent. Stop being nice to them.
I
Well,
mean,
it's
but
not
look
about
at
being
that
nice.
calf.
Those are
Look
nice
at that
calves.
calf.
Those are nice. Those are sturdy.
But I have the daintiest ankles you'll ever.
It's an interesting tattoo. Is it a dragonfly?
Yeah.
What is that?
I got drunk
Okay.
and I was in college,
Mm-hmm.
and those are initials of people that I was with that night.
That is outstanding. You should never remove that.
At least
That
I
thing
was
is
smart enough to
perfect.
put it on my ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have to piss so bad, boys.
All right.
Like I'm talking
Well,
so bad.
That's it then.
June 3rd, everybody, come out to the show. I do a show called Tell Me Something Good is my podcast. The High Live is every Monday night.
Might have
That's
to,
it.
might have to
The
poke
High
in tonight
Live.
and see what's
I'll
happening.
be on there tonight. What time?
It starts at 8 o'clock here.
8 o'clock.
Facebook fan page and on my YouTube channel.
Not Instagram Live.
Not Instagram Live because they started to get a little iffy with the actual smoking.
they do.
How
They get
dare
a
they?
little, yeah.
How dare you?
I mean, come on, man.
So we can pull up live and it'll be, or not live, YouTube and it'll just be streaming.
Yeah, it'll be
All right, cool.
streaming. I'll send you a link, dude. I'll text you a link.
All right.
And then I'm gonna send me. Will you send me the most difficult read? And I'm gonna do it tonight. No.
No, he's talking about-
one of these.
Oh, do the read for our podcast.
Probably the Credit Karma one or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Credit Karma one.
Yeah. Send it to me, and so I'll read it at the peak of being fucked up, and let's compare.
We'll put them side by side. They'll be like, oh, Taylor's fucked up. Josh is doing great. It's like, well, actually, Taylor was sober-ish for the whole thing.
Yeah, that'll be a way to go. Okay, good.
Outstanding, dude.
I appreciate
Hey, that was awesome. It was a really great podcast. We're done.
Big shout out to you guys. If you enjoyed this episode and love and support Bussin' with the Boys, go to whatever podcast platform you're on and subscribe to us. Leave a review, rate 5 stars. If you're already subscribed, unsubscribe and resubscribe again. It helps the boys climb the charts. And again, we wouldn't be doing this and can't do this without you guys and all of your support. We also have a YouTube channel if you'd like to watch our show or these episodes. They're on YouTube at Bussin' with the Boys. We're also on social media at Bussin' WTB. You can follow us everywhere. Go buy our merch. You guys know that whole deal. But thank you so much. We are forever grateful for you. The biggest of hugs and tiniest of kisses for the boys, always and forever.